The views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at talkrealsolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone
The
Thompson
recording has
and do
started.
not reflect the views of Talk Real Solutions
Q&A session has started.
or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not talkrealsolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
All right. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. This is Talk Real Solution. And I am your host tonight, Tyrone Thompson. I want to thank you for tuning in. Today is August the 8th, 2024. And if you want to join the conversation, all you have to do is dial into the number that should be in the description of the show and on the screen at 717-908-1834. Hit the participant code at 917324. I'll get you on the line and you can share whatever it is you want to speak about, whether it's a topic or your own information. You know, just as long as you try to keep it within the conversation, I don't mind. You can even change the subject if you want. You know me, I don't care. I try to take the conversation anyway. It's not for me. It's for whoever is calling in. I will try to keep it as entertaining as possible, like I always do. And you know, I will try to at least enlighten some people if I can about how I see the world. We do talk about politics, religion, trending topics, celebrity. It doesn't matter what the conversation is. And we always try to learn from our conversations. So that's what I try to do. You know, a lot of people like to get into foolishness and all that kind of stuff. It is funny. What's up, East Coast and Top Dollar? It is funny to go back and forth with each other. But, you know, at some point in time, you got to be serious about what we're doing here, right? Let me see if my audio comes through. Yeah, it's coming through. So you know, I like to be entertaining, but at the same time, whenever you just say things that are just off whack or whatever, you know, I ain't into that. You know, that just ain't me. And so what's new this week? Well, I think Miss Elisa is hitting 1,000 because before we left last week, she said that Kamala Harris will have a VP pick, and that's exactly what happened. Is Kamala Harris's VP pick is Tim, I think his name is Walls. Let me Google it. Y'all know me. Tim Walls, Waz, or whatever his name is. Tim Walls. That's it right there. Tim Walls. So that's who she chose for her vice presidential candidate. And I mean, so far to me, the guy looks to be acceptable in my eyes. You know, there's nothing to this point to turn me off from this ticket. I think that this being her first major decision, I think she knocked it out of the park with this guy. Everybody was talking about the other guy, that the Obama imitator. Nah, I don't know. That guy do sound like President Obama. He kind of favored him too. Shapiro. And I could see her picking him. Um, especially because with the times we living in now, and that guy is Jewish, then that would have shut up a lot of people in that area. But she chose. I think she chose the right pick. She knew that she had to pick somebody that was middle of the road, that was down to earth, and that could communicate with the way Tim Wise does, and Tim Walls does, and she did that. So hats off to the future president of the United States of America, Kamala Harris, for making a wise decision, a smart decision on our VP pick. Now, I'm seeing trends, and I don't because I've been looking at this 538 poll, and ever since Kamala Harris was picked, 538 had her, down by one or whatever. But now it seems that 538 has got her up by two, and the trend is leaning into Harris's favor. Now that ain't nothing to get excited about. I think that is still within the era, the margin of error, but it's a different trend, trending upward. As far as the national polls, that's a good thing for Democrats, and it's also good for the country. We don't need to go back to what the hell Donald Trump and his band of fucking idiots and had us going through. Listen, for 10 years, for 10 straight years, any political conversation that we were having always ended up in an argument. Always ended up where there was these emotions that is tied behind politics. The way Donald Trump was put it just wasn't right. It isn't right. I don't want to argue with you. Listen, politics to me is supposed to fit in society just like anything else, right? You make decisions in life. You make decisions about cars. You make decisions about buying your home. You make decisions about groceries. You make decisions about what school to go to, what college to send your kids to. Just all of these decisions in society that we have to make. And it's your personal choice. It's your personal choice to whatever decision you make. And whatever decision you make, you're going to have to pay the consequences if there is any, or you have to reap the benefits if you benefit from it, right? That's personal. And that's the way I looked at politics. That's the way I still look at politics. Is it's a personal choice that someone makes, and it's a right that we were given by being citizens of this country that we should all take advantage of when we go to the polls. But it should not be. For instance, if you choose a college for your kid to go to, nobody, your neighbor or your friends on social media should not start a fight with you because you chose X college, whatever college you chose. That doesn't make any sense to me. And if your political choice is your political choice, nobody get angry or start an argument with you because you have a political way of thinking. This society is supposed to encompass all of that. And the reason that I'm saying it that way is because the Constitution of the United States that you was born up under encompasses both sides. It don't just lean one way or the other. So in other words, these people that's telling you you got to think left or think right, they're not even following the Constitution. They're anti-American. Whenever these guys are promoting these right-wing ideas and telling you that's the way things has to be, and they go further. They go further by trying to rig the system in such a way that right-wing ideology prevails. That's what you got in Project 2025. That's what you got in Georgia now, that they've made a decision that the election polls has to be monitored and recounted before it's accepted. They're trying to rig the system. That's not American. They're trying to rig the system by calling into question free and fair elections all over the United States. So much so that people are going to jail behind their ideology. Prominent people, people who have been successful in this society, is actually suffering the consequences of following this fake anti-American ideology. And this mindset has got a hold because of this cult-like mentality that the right wing finds themselves in. And they can't undo it. That you're not going to undo it. This is the first time in history that I've seen in the short time that I've been living any political ideology fall hook, line, and sinker behind one person. I've never seen this before. And the Democrats during this election cycle showed you how it's supposed to be done. You know, unfortunately for Joe Biden, you know, he had to give up the reins, and the Democratic process had to continue with a new candidate. But that's how it's supposed to be done. You're not supposed to stand behind Joe Biden no matter what. Everybody seen that he was, you know, getting a little slower and all of this kind of stuff. I'm not saying that he wasn't mentally there, because the man is probably still sharp as a tack. You know what I mean? But he was getting a little slower, and there was nothing wrong with that, because that's nature. It happens in life. We all going to get old. But politically, it was not advantageous for the Democrats for them to keep him around. Because America, say whatever you want to, even if you're listening to me right now, you don't like old people. That's just the way the fuck we are as a society. I'm sorry. When I get old, they're going to treat me bad too. You know, that's just, I don't know why we do that. And I hate that. But politically, it's not good to be 80 years old running for president. You know, the seniors should be the most respected people in society. We walk the walk. We walk the walk. We talk the talk. We don't walk the walk. We talk the talk about how we should respect our elders and all this kind of stuff. But you really don't. You really don't. And that's unfortunate. You know, I don't think people should treat older people that way. I think they should be the most respected people in our society. They're our teachers. They're the one that's got us to where we are. You know, and older people, you know, they did what they supposed to do by contributing to the society. They paid their taxes. They did their jobs. They, you know, and they earned the right to grow old gracefully with respect. But everybody don't see it the way Tyrone sees it, right? And that's what happened to Joe Biden is he was getting older, and his own party turned against him because of his age. I think, well, no, I don't. It would have been neck and neck, but I think Joe Biden would have beat Donald Trump. I really do. I think he would have beat Donald Trump. But, you know, the Democrats wasn't willing to risk that, so they started clawing away at themselves, you know, damaging their own party, damaging their own candidate. You know, you started seeing, you know, X amount of Democrats coming out against Joe Biden and all this kind of stuff. And politically, that ain't good. That is not good for your own party to be turning against you. So what does the Democrats do? The Democrats know how politics work, and they knew they had to get back to a place of normalcy in politics, at least in their own party. Now, you can't control the crazies. You can't control the Sarges and the ABCs. You just can't control them. But at least in their party, They knew they had to get back to a place of normalcy. And Kamala Harris was, they had their suspicions about making her the nominee and all this kind of stuff, which is understandable because she was not in the forefront for 4 years, or we didn't really hear a lot from her. We knew she was working behind the scene. We knew she was the vice president, but we didn't really know a lot about Kamala Harris. But they knew they had to get back to a place of normalcy. And then they was so questionable about Kamala Harris is that you started floating other names out there. Gavin Newsom and all of these people, they wanted, but as I said plenty of times here on the show, none of them people ain't next in the chute. The person that was next was Kamala Harris, like it or not. She's the vice president. And fortunately, they did the right thing. Because if they would have overstepped Kamala Harris, that would have fractured this party like never before. So they made the right step. You would have seen women mad as hell. You would have seen black people mad as hell. You would have seen the right taking advantage of the fracture, and it would have tore us apart even more, right? So I think they made the right choice because the vice president is a position that they voted for that ticket. They voted for the Biden-Harris ticket. Kamala Harris was on that ticket. So when people say that she didn't earn it or whatever, yes, she did. She wasn't the top of the ticket, but she was one half of the goddamn ticket. So they voted for her and the Biden-Harris team, and she was in the position to where if Joe Biden had some issues, she was supposed to take over. That's what the hell you voted for. Now that Joe Biden got issues, guess what? She's supposed to take over. And when she did, she started showing her ass. And not in a bad way. I mean, people started getting together. They're excited about politics. The donations for the Democrats went up. The poll numbers is almost flipped. They're not completely ahead. They can't take their hand off the wheel, but they're pulling ahead of Donald Trump. While Donald Trump is still running the same old insults about his political candidate, these people said, Tim Wall said that Donald Trump took the joy out of politics, and he's 100% correct. We shouldn't be angry all the damn time. If Sarge calls into this motherfucker tonight, I want you to listen to how mad that motherfucker is. But for what? Why are you angry? Why the fuck is ABC angry? You can't walk around all the time being mad for what? Politics? These motherfuckers, first of all, they taking our goddamn money. They don't give a shit about you. They don't care, not personally. So let me just throw a little caveat in there. They care about the party and they care about the country. But, well, the left do. I don't know about the right. The right is just stealing money from you. But there's no reason for people in society to get mad and fight over politics. What you need to be focused on is this nation going to survive? Is this nation going to be able to continue to take care of its society with the leaders that we choose? And the answer to that with Donald Trump in charge is a fuck no. Because Donald Trump has put the religious right in charge of his policy through the Heritage Foundation. You can see their religious policies already taking effect with the rollback of Roe versus Wade. You can see their extreme policies taking effect with no movement on gun control in this country. You can see their extreme policies taking effect in Donald Trump's campaign speech whenever he said he's going to give the police immunity, complete immunity. What does that mean to me as a black man whenever you hear a political candidate give a civilian organization complete immunity. There is no other organization, company, workplace that is even offered complete immunity in any step of the measure. In any step of the, there is no other organization that anybody would offer complete immunity. So why would you offer complete immunity to the police? And the answer is to that question is because they know the police has a history of being slave patrol, and they know the police is in the black community policing black people way more than it does anybody else in society. They know that police is the conduit for them to locking black people up, fostering up the prison industrial complex. That's why they're going to get immunity. They know the police will walk into a black woman's house with no search warrant and no reason for being there and shoot her in the damn face. That's why they're going to get immunity. Because they will put the knee on the neck and murder you. They will shoot you in 2 fucking seconds, your child, in a playground in Tamir Rice. And you're looking at, and murder you, and you're looking at that organization and telling them that they need immunity? They know that today's evolution of the police force is nothing more than the KKK reinvented. And you got black people sitting there saying that they're going to vote for Donald Trump. So no, if you are African American in this country, just that one policy stance from the Republicans should turn you the fuck off. Stop making up shit. We know what the man said. He's going to give the police immunity. Why? Why in the hell are you going to give the police immunity? It's not like they don't go to work, strap on a fucking firearm, so they're defended during the day. It's not like they don't go to work getting tax dollar money, paying for houses and cars with our fucking money. It ain't like that they living a bad fucking life. And oh yeah, some of them, it ain't like that they ain't corrupt, stealing drugs. I mean, so why would you give the police immunity? I am at a loss why that doesn't just put the nail in the coffin of black support for Donald Trump. Just that one idea there. And every time I talk about the police, somebody always say they ain't all bad. Well, by this point in time, they had plenty of time to prove that they ain't all bad. That was 10 years ago that I heard this about the police not being all bad. Clearly, they are all bad. They are all bad. The complete organization is corrupt. The complete organization is hell-bent on killing people that look like me. Yeah, they are all bad. And then even so, and it goes deeper than that psychologically, right? And I ain't picking on nobody, but I'm gonna talk about Howard for a second. Because after Sonya Macy got shot in the face in her own house, when the police had broke the law by being in her fucking house to begin with, Howard called me, and I'm not saying that he supports the police, but the narrative of her throwing a pot of hot water at him stayed with Howard. And it stayed with him so much so that he called me and told me, I'm not supporting the police. So he says that. But she did throw the pot of hot water. Now, that's the same thing as the 13th Amendment. Whenever you look at it, I want to break that down. Whenever you look at the 13th Amendment and it says neither slavery or involuntary servitude except as a condition, as a punishment for crime whereof the parties have been duly convicted. Whenever you get to that word except, that means everything that you just said, before you said except, you're taking back. So whenever Howard said, I'm not for the police shooting her or doing what he did, but whenever you said but, you're retracting everything you just said before then. Now I don't want to debate it, but that's the truth. Now see, I could use but as a continuation of my thought, just like I just did, and that was a perfect example. But whenever you're looking at something that's ideas that are just opposing each other, and you use those words in between what you're getting ready to say, you're just retracting what you just said. I know that probably went over somebody's damn head. I won't no damn English major, but I know how to fucking talk. My point that I'm trying to make is that the idea of protecting the police permeates throughout society so much, even for people who don't support what the police did, somehow or another have a sympathetic idea of saying that what we witnessed was justified. And I can't get on that. There is no reason whatsoever to look at that situation with Sonya Massey and give that murdering piece of shit any talking points to justify his actions. Right? There's no way. Especially when he gets up in the morning, puts on fucking clothes I pay for, put on his hip a weapon that I fucking pay for, and goes out in the street to kill people that look like me. There should be more accountability. It doesn't matter when you're going up against a unarmed woman in her fucking nightgown. You shouldn't leave that situation unloading a bullet into her fucking face. That's just not, there's no excuse for that. There's no justification. There is no reason that anyone should see it other than what the fuck it is, which was murder. Which is murder. So I told my man, I said, look, man, I got you. And I hear you, but I don't want to argue with you. We just disagree. Because why are we arguing about fucking slave patrol? Why are two black men arguing about slave patrol? We know throughout history that they are against us. They was created to be against us. There is no justification for trying to justify a murder of these KKK members. So yeah, I just said, okay, dude, we got it. I don't even want to debate this. If that's the way you feel, brother, then more power to you. I understand you said that you don't agree with him and he's a murderer, but she threw the hot water. And when you use that she threw the hot water, that justifies his actions. At least in a conversation, right? That justifies his actions. And I don't have any sympathy for any of those people. That's the shit that Sarge do. That's the shit that he do whenever he looked at Trayvon Martin. He finds a way to justify it. That's the shit that he did whenever he looked at George Floyd or my man that was jogging in the neighborhood. He makes all this thing. So I don't even want to debate whether or not that shooting was justified. It wasn't. Especially when you got a victim squatted down behind the counter. You with your weapon approach the fucking victim, exposing yourself to the person that's squatted down behind the counter, and then you telling me you scared for your life, so I have to shoot you? You put yourself in that position by walking forward. I'm not a scientist, but I can almost guarantee you, if you was worried about that hot water, what could have corrected it is walking in reverse, backing the fuck up. That lady cannot throw that pot as far as you back up. If you was worried about that hot water. But I doubt that's what happened. He was worried about killing a black lady because he said it. I'll shoot you in your fucking face. And that's what he did. Anyway, that's my opinion on the police and why we should be worried if Donald Trump is in charge again. Because those people are going to be off the chain. So I am happy that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz is taking the fucking world by storm, and they're saying all the right stuff. They're pitch perfect. They're out there on the campaign trail. They're calling out Donald Trump for all that crap that he done. And they're doing it with professionalism and eloquence that we haven't seen in politics for a long time. Even at her rally the past couple of days, the audience started yelling, "Lock him up." The first time we ever seen any dumb shit like that at a political rally was Donald Trump's rally. And the media failed the nation by not calling that what it was: hate speech. Political hate speech. Wanting to lock up your political opponent. We've never seen that. But Kamala Harris rally, they started yelling, "Lock him up" for Donald Trump. And she simply said, look, that ain't what we here to do. We're going to win in November, and we'll let the court system handle that. And that tampered down the violence rhetoric at her rally. Where at a Trump rally, they will try to encourage the violent rhetoric. That's why you see idiots like Sarge all amped up, because his fucking dear leader is encouraging violence in their party. And now you got Donald Trump running scared. He's running scared. The polls are flipping on his ass. He's running scared. He don't want to debate. And he chose an idiot for a running mate. He chose the most inexperienced fucking political fucking do boy that you could fucking choose in JD Vance. This man, this man political speech includes hating single parents. No, not even single parents. Parents without kids. I don't. What he said is if you don't have children, you should have less power when it comes to voting for your elected officials. That's not even constitutional. What is the Bill of Rights that said all men are created equal? I know they probably changed that. Or all something created equal. I don't know. But that doesn't mean that you got to have children to be created equal in this damn country. But they're so dumb, they don't even know their own. Listen, I am a fucking amateur constitutionalist. I don't know the shit verbatim. I just read what the fuck ever it says and take it for what the fuck it is. That's just me. But I know good and goddamn well, if you're running to be the vice president of the United States of America, you cannot separate people based on how many children they fucking got. And then you will probably have Sarge or ABC. Well, I agree with him. I agree with him. What? They just blindly agree with these fucking idiots because of politics. They don't give a shit about right and wrong. That's why I don't deal with these motherfuckers. I can't talk to idiots. And then on the other side, you got black people that's probably spewing that whole dumb shit about Kamala Harris and her not supporting reparations and all of this kind of stuff. So what I did today was I went back and I tried to find the audio of Kamala Harris speaking about reparations. And I downloaded it, but where the fuck did I put it? Hold on for a minute, y'all. MP3. Where the hell is my MP3s at? Oh, I never. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I downloaded it, and I'll play it for y'all tonight. Exactly what she said, right? And then at that damn point, I don't know what the hell to tell black people. But what really got me on this is I went and I read up under the comment sections of the video, and I'll share that with you guys about what she said about reparations. And that's really what got me going, because I was shaking my head. You got people from ADOS. You got people from that foundational whatever the fuck made up black fucking movement on social media in the comment section saying, well, that comment is not ever going to get you elected. And I'm like, what the fuck is these people talking about? And if you listen to the audio, it's the same mindset that I was trying to explain about Barack Obama and his support for the black community. You just can't say as a political candidate in this country that you're going to take X amount of quadrillion dollars of the taxpayer money and give it to 13% of the population off the rip. You can say it, but you ain't going to win shit. It'd be political suicide, even if you're a white candidate. Even as much as they love Donald Trump, and him saying that he could stand in the middle of fucking Fifth Avenue in New York City and shoot somebody in the head and still get support, as much as they love that racist piece of shit, Donald Trump cannot come out here as a political candidate and say that he's going to give black people reparations. He cannot do that. So why is black people so fucking stupid that whenever somebody of color is in the hot seat, all of a sudden you are out there promoting not to support this person because they're not going with your stupid ass agenda? I don't understand that mindset. And we dealt with it for years on this damn show. I didn't understand it then, and I still don't understand it. Why the fuck? Why the fuck would you think? Why would you think that somebody who wants to be the president of all Americans would single out a certain demographic, a certain group, and say, nope, they're going to get more than the rest of you, and I expect you to vote for me, to put me in charge of you, so I can take your money and give it to them? I don't understand how black people think at this point. I really don't. So this is what I'm gonna do. Hold on, let me check the lines first. Y'all know me. Y'all know me. I get to running off at the mouth, and I won't shut up. So let me check the lines and see if there's anybody there, and then I'll play these audios for y'all and let y'all hear President Harris in our own words. And I know, because some people are slow, I may have to decipher it for you, and I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to play it with you and let you decipher it. So let me see who's on the line. Let me see what time it is first. Well, I got 5 minutes, so I'm gonna play this one, and then I'm gonna open the line in about 5 minutes. Cause I really want to explore. No, I open the line and I get it ready. That's what I'll do. So let me see here. There's two people on hold. There's two people on hold, and I'll open your lines to see who this is. All right. Hold on for a minute. Y'all know me. I'm slow. All right. So who's this unknown caller here?
Maze.
What's up, Maze? And who's this caller here? Hello? I just opened your line. Who is that? I don't know who that is. All right. So what's up, Maze? What you got?
I wanted to talk about Joe Brown. What's wrong with him?
Well, I don't listen to idiots on social media no more, so I cannot answer that question for you. But I did see a clip of him calling Kamala Harris all kinds of names and stuff like that, and it was like, I promise you, at least 5 seconds of him saying what he said, and I didn't look at no more because I said it. This guy's an idiot.
But ADD played the whole thing. The reason why, and he thought it was something cute. I mean, why he's just like what's the other name, Ben Carson, and Thomas Sowell and all those people he joined along with him. So wasn't he a judge? Did he put people in jail too? He freed everybody that went to his court.
Yeah.
So, and then he want to talk about a birth certificate and all this stuff. But then I want to talk about, I told, when was it? When everybody was falling apart, that in August, it's August now, right?
Mm-hmm.
That something was going to happen and they're going to be in a state of shock. And I don't know why these people, is like you said, if you like 2025 and you want to not be in that part of the government or be like that, go and vote for Trump. And if you don't, that's why we see all those people gathering the way they are. Because they don't want to be a part of Trump's 2025. Regardless of if Kamala looks like a orange person too, and if she not trying to do 2025, maybe that's why people are looking at her. Because some of the stuff that's in there, they want to go back to like child labor and all this different stuff.
Yeah.
Who wants to be a part of that? So I'm saying like it's just kind of strange to me. So there's people that got the choices, and those that say they love Trump, let them love him. And some of them can't even vote anyways from around here and tell me they love Trump and he's this. But he done ran out of steam now, probably money too. And he was having a breakdown today, but he wanted to get the focus back on her. Do you know what he's trying to what he's trying to pull out now?
What's
For
that?
her to come out to the support to the news media. And that one word, I love this certain country, is what they want her to say if she love it or not. That's the only thing, because he mentioned it in his little rant he was having. This ain't got nothing to do with American politics. We don't care nothing about who love who. Leave that there, and we work with American
Well, if she
people.
was smart, right, I wouldn't listen to that.
Nope. Just let it roll.
Because the only people calling for her to do an interview, and I think she can handle it. The only people calling for her to do an interview is the Trump campaign and the media. The people don't give a damn about her doing a damn interview. I'm
not talking about the interview. I'm saying they want her to talk to the media so they can answer this one dumb question. Just like Biden said he wasn't going to send no more weapons over to that place. They want her to say, I love this place too. And that's what they want her to say. They think it's going to fall. Everybody, well, don't be so excited because eventually that's the only word they want to hear. And I hope she don't even put a thought to it. Go on, just like she said today. She's working with the people, running with the people. One is talking and one is running. So I just say those that want 2025 to come in place, good for them, because I sure don't. That's what I'm looking at.
Well, and she's not afraid of sitting down doing interviews. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm going to play is her sitting down doing interviews, and she handles interviews.
If she do it with some people asking some dumb questions nobody don't care nothing about, what good is it to do an interview?
But see, they don't have anything else, so they're looking at that as a negative thing, and then they're trying to say she's scared to do an interview. I'm like, what the hell is y'all talking about? That's because they don't have anything else.
It's like we hate that. Look at it. She don't love that place. She won't even say it. It's not for her to say.
Love what? Wait a minute. What you talking about? Love what?
Israel. That's what they want her to come and say. If she loves
the
Israel.
only thing that she can say politically is that Israel is our closest ally. I don't know what happened to hell to fucking UK, but I thought it used to be UK. But now Israel is our closest ally, and she would do anything to support Israel. That's the only thing that you can say. I mean, what else is she gonna say?
And just like Jimmy Carter said, he want to live so he can vote for her. And then Mike Pence said he's not voting for Trump. So why are these people running around saying that they're going to vote? Half of this cabinet is not going to vote for him. I just don't understand. And some of these black men that come over there on Newsmax, something's really wrong with them. He going to say, well, she said this and this and this, and had two little black girls taking them to get some ice cream, which was her two nieces. He was too dumb to know it. Just wanted to be over there flapping his lips. So it's just like it's fun sitting back to keep laughing when everybody else is down and wondering and about to fall apart. Just like I said, I'm not falling apart, and I'm just sitting back looking and listening. So I guess Sarge will be coming up with some birth certificate again. Just like
Sarge is an idiot. Sarge is a straight up idiot. That's why he don't debate me no more. That's why, he can't stand for me to talk. Because I expose him for being a goddamn idiot. And then I'm just talking. I'm talking shit. I like Sarge. He all right. I see you in the chat room. But he know that he cannot deal with the logic that comes behind, a defense against whatever his position is. His position is straight up following Trump, following the right wing, and defending all of that. And all of that can be shot down. And he knows that. So I don't know.
Oh, and JC and JD, he was sitting talking yesterday. He said that he was the only people in his family that went to college. She was the first one to go to college. I'm like, now, wasn't his mother a nurse, he said? Now, he getting himself confused, too, about what he's talking about. So you got to stop looking at this and pay attention. So those that weren't paying attention, wait for somebody else to give them the news and look at it instead of taking your brain, look for yourself and do some investigation. That's what Hannibal passed out today is for people to start talking about. She needs to talk to the media so she can say what the words they want to say like they did Biden, but it ain't gonna happen. So all right, so Hannibal's about to have a breakdown.
I think she'll do fine in an interview. I just do.
Yes,
but like I said, the only reason that they saying that and the media fucking falling for it is because they don't have anything else. They're trying to get some negatives on her, and they say she won't do an interview. She won't do an interview. I don't know when the fuck she didn't do a goddamn interview. So she will.
Did one today.
Yeah.
And this is why more women than it is men. So what they gonna do? And they always say how many and his crowds are getting smaller. Some of them have switched over. And if his vice president wasn't both women, he worked with him, I wouldn't do it neither. So with that said, I've said my piece. Until next time.
All right. And guys, this is what I'm going to do. Let me find out who this other caller is. Who's this other unknown caller? This line here. I just opened your line. Who is that?
Nigga, I'm about to go upside your head. You got your K-pot on?
Oh, what's up, Sarge? How you doing tonight, man?
You got your K-pot on. That's what I want to know. I'm about to go upside your head.
I do not have a K-pot on. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Well, you need one because I'm about to smack the shit out your dome. Okay, now, let's start off with what you said just a moment ago.
Wait. Before you do that, sit back and relax for 1 second. And I want to play this audio. And then... All
right. You go ahead and play your audio and figure out a way you're going to dodge all these missiles.
No, I'm not going to dodge any missiles, but I want to play the audio to show people. Well, you know what? Should I let you go or should I? I'm thinking now because I know you're going to take a while. I don't know.
Nigga, you think I'm going to ramble like most of your callers do? I go right to the goddamn point. I already know what I'm going to say.
Okay, well,
I'm going to respond to the bullshit you said.
Okay, you go ahead then.
Let's start off with what you said about Trump granting constitutional immunity to police officers. He's got no constitutional authority whatsoever to do such thing to any state or local PD. That is entirely a matter for the state legislatures to grant or not to grant to their police officers. The president has no say in the issue other than the bully pulpit. So he can't do it, and he doesn't intend to. You just made that up.
I did not.
You did. You said he was going to grant constitutional immunity to police officers, and he has no authority to do it unless he just seizes it like Joe Biden did with student loans or giving money to illegal aliens coming across the border.
I can't tell you what I said because that is not what I said.
All right, Leah, tell me what you said because I took a note when you said it.
I said Trump said in one of his speeches that he was going to grant complete immunity to police officers.
And I just said he didn't have his authority to do it. You got your wax out of your ears. Did you hear what I just said?
No.
He has no authority to do it. I don't give a damn what he said.
Okay.
He can't do it.
You acknowledge he said
he doesn't have any authority under the Constitution to grant such a thing. And I know you're misinterpreting and lying about what he said. I don't believe you anyway.
Long as you acknowledge that's what he said.
All right, well, let's get one thing straight. No matter what he said, he didn't have the authority to do it. And I don't believe he said what you said he said. Because you always lie about what he said. You're never right. And then you said something that wasn't even in the goddamn Constitution. It's in the Declaration of Independence. All men are created equal. It don't say that nowhere in the Constitution.
Oh, I said the Bill of Rights. I said the Bill of Rights.
Well, you're wrong.
Yeah,
the Bill of Rights is the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. That language is nowhere in the first 10 amendments to the Constitution.
I got you.
Next. See, I'm going specific. See, I'm not rambling. I'm going specifically as a response to what you said. Next. You said Vance said he was trying to divide people by what he said about not having children. That's a lie. What he questioned was whether or not we should turn over governance of the country to people who have no genetic stake in the future. Now, you can agree with that or you cannot agree with it, but it is certainly not an irrelevant viewpoint to hold. Do people who don't have a genetic stake in the future in the form of children or grandchildren, are they likely to have as equal a regard for the good future prosperity of the country as those who are just living out their own lives with no regard for their posterity? That's a relevant question. Next, see, I'm not going to ramble. I'm going to go right to your bullshit. Now you got Kamala Harris, who went full-bore Marxist-Leninist today at the United Auto Works, talking about we believe in the collective. Did you hear that little commie biatch? And then the UAW, and then wait a minute, the UAW president Sean Fain said most of the union members are going to support President Trump anyway. That was the leadership of the UAW voted to support Kamala Harris, but he knows that most of the rank and file people in the UAW are not going to vote for Kamala Harris. We believe in the collective. Who the fuck talks like that as the president? What is your gigs in old USSR? Commie dame? Jesus Christ. And you know what? I'm telling you right now, man. This is all because she picked somebody, this guy, Tim Walz. He is full-bore, loony leftist California politician living in Minnesota, the guy who signed a bill mandating the installation of tampon dispensers in the boys' bathrooms in public schools in Minnesota. You think that's weird, maybe? You think maybe that's a little bit weird? Because he did sign that bill. He didn't veto it.
Mandated
he signed
tampons in the boys' bathroom?
Let me say again what I just said. Tampon Tim Walz signed a bill into law that mandates the installation of tampon dispensers in Minnesota public schools, in the boys' bathrooms. Is that a little bit weird or what?
I don't believe you.
But you know what? You don't believe in it because you listen to mainstream media. I'm gonna show you what the goddamn laws you lying motherfucker. I'll tell you what it is. He did, and not only that, he's all in. He is all in he's for abortion all the way up to the moment of gestation. He's all in for that. And as governor, remember, this guy's a former National Guardsman, and the commander-in-chief of the National Guard of Minnesota. When the liberal progressive mayor, Jacob Fry, and Jacob Fry's police chief asked for National Guard assistance because they said in their request they did not have the resources to stop the civil disorder that was about to burn down the 3rd Minneapolis Police District. And they were begging for National Guard assistance. Guess what Mr. 24-year veteran of the National Guard, Tim Walz, did? He dithered. He even admitted later that his response to the riots was inadequate. That was his own words. My response was inadequate. In other words, he said he wanted to de-escalate the situation rather than responding to the request of the mayor who's on the scene saying we don't have the resources to control this. We need the National Guard now. And instead, he dithered about it. And his wife, guess what his wife said? His wife said we had the windows open so we could savor the smell of burning tires, which is sort of like people clamoring for freedom.
Okay, so let me ask you.
These people are crazy. They are crazy. They are demented, and they are going to be rejected this November. Oh, and one more thing, and then I'll shut up and let you respond. Today in Georgia, at the Georgia Election Board, they admitted to massive irregularities in Fulton County. You had 2 forensic document examiners headed up by another election forensic examiner with impeccable credentials, detailing in great specificity to the double-counted ballots that were taken from different batches to make them difficult to detect in either of the 3 election recounts and the 2 machine recount audits. And this evidence was presented without contravention to the election board people, and they are now reopening the investigation into election fraud and irregularities in Fulton County. They cited specifics. They showed specific ballot images. They showed specific tabulation errors. They got the whole works, and the board voted to reopen the proceedings as a result of the evidence that they submitted over the last 3 days. And one of them said, we may just owe Donald Trump an apology for the election in Georgia. This is from the Georgia Election Board, not Sarge.
Okay, so
you better wake up and smell the coffee, my man, because shit's about to fall down on you and all your allies' asses. You ain't got away with shit for too goddamn long.
So you're telling me that Tim Walz, whenever the riots was going on, didn't call for the National Guard. Is that what you're saying? What did you say about that?
That's not what I said. He did commit the National Guard after he saw how bad it was getting. He could have committed the Guard earlier than he did, but he refused to do so. He said specifically he wanted to de-escalate, and the sight of soldiers would only escalate it. Well, the soldiers didn't come, and it escalated. His efforts at de-escalation were a failure.
Okay, so that's not true.
Well, what is not true? When he admitted that his response was inadequate.
Well,
did you miss that part?
There's an audio of Donald Trump calling Tim Walz.
I don't give a damn. Donald Trump didn't have all the information that we have now. I don't care. Donald Trump isn't an oracle. He don't know every goddamn thing.
Well, I'm just
we've gotten more information since he made that phone call, which is relatively close in proximity to when the events occurred. But now we've got a lot more information. We've got the request and the timeline of when the mayor asked for the guard and when they were eventually committed, even after they had been mobilized.
Well, the narrative is Tim Walz mishandled that situation, and that's what you guys run around here.
So we're not supposed to point it out?
But what I'm trying
we're supposed to let it go? That's what. Hey, tell me something, man. Isn't one of the most important duties of any president or governor to maintain civil order? Isn't that one of the things they are most obligated to do when they can?
Okay, so the narrative is you guys are saying that Tim Walz mishandled it, and if he
said he did. Let me point that out again. I got his tweet. I can put a link to it. He said he didn't handle it correctly.
To all children.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say, if he mishandled it, why in the hell would Donald Trump call him and congratulate?
I don't know. Ask Donald Trump. I'm not Donald Trump's spokesman. I'm not saying Donald Trump does everything right. Hell, you're the ones who say he says everything right. He fucks up sometimes too. He fucked up on that. He didn't have enough information to know whether Tim Walz did a good job or not. I know, though. I see what the man says. I've looked at the chronology, the commitment of the guard. I looked at the chronology of the development events on the ground in Minnesota, and no, he didn't handle it right. I don't care what Trump said.
Okay, so let me get this unknown caller because I can see you're not going to let me talk. Who's this unknown caller?
Yeah, well, Spike, speak to some facts, will you? Instead of just making shit up. I don't make shit up. I speak to facts.
Okay, so I think that's Jay New York. Is that Jay New York?
What's going on?
No, it's not. And
hold on for a second. Hold on. That was that.
You just opened my line.
Yeah, hold on. I opened Jay New York line first, and then I opened yours. So hold on. So let me write this down, and then Howard, Jay, and Sarge. I would like to have a normal conversation. So if we can, guys, let's try to keep it level headed. And not go back and forth with each other. We can debate without going crazy. So let's get.
I only got 5 minutes left on my timer tonight. Can I go, Jay?
Go right ahead, brother.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. It's funny how Guy said that the damn president of the United States didn't have enough information. It's fucking crazy. That is stupendous. That is actually, well, coming from Sarge, probably what you expect, that's very idiotic. The president didn't have enough information. That's funny as hell. He had all information that was available to him in that time, and he made a statement that he made. Crazy shit. But hey, Ty, good show. I'm gonna lay back. But I'm gonna put this out here for that dude that's hiding in the background, that's talking all this shit. We talk behind the scenes, and I'm gonna put it out to the people. I put to him if we can have a debate about Project 2025, and how that would be either good or bad for the people. And I'm going to bring it out to the public. He hung up on me a couple of times because he didn't like the SSI age being 70, and he may be getting SSI right now. So I'm going to put that out there to his ass and say he step up for every debate. Well, step up for this debate, nigga.
All right,
let's debate Project 2025, bruh. And I'm done.
All right, thank you, sir. Jay New York, welcome to the show.
All right. So I'll make it short. The first thing is this: is they debating. I seen the conference today, or the press conference Donald Trump had where he went off like crazy. In my opinion, I believe that is the temperature's hot. He sees a threat. I heard the way he was speaking, repetitive, same old, but he was sounding like he was worried because he was confident that he was gonna beat Joe Biden. So for what I see is that I believe that he is nervous about this election, and he sees the momentum, and the numbers ain't looking good despite the whatever's being polled and this, that, the other. He has he has his base. He will have people that will vote for him. He does have people. Look, we don't gotta try to be tribal. I'm gonna look at it as for what it is, as facts, right? Some people say made up stuff is facts, but the facts are this: that there's a portion of this country that has the same mindset as him, similarities. There's a lot of people that are confused. You also have a Democratic Party that has some portions of that, not as, in my opinion, not as it is in the Republican Party. But for what we see is this: I do not believe he's going to win this election. It's the odds is really against him. There is going to be a close race, so it's not something like they got it. You could go blind with it. No, she's going to have to put the footwork. The vice president elect is going to have to be going out there as well. I think that this is why they're upset. And look, the reality is this: Republicans and Democrats, they're not going to agree most of the time. They have their vision of what they think this country is going to be, as they always talk about, and then the Democrats have a different vision, or people that vote Democratic. And, it's different principles and things like that, and some things might be similar, but for the most part, there's a lot of division. So I'll just say this: Donald Trump is not going to win the election. This is on record as is being recorded, so JNYC is saying he is not going to win the election, despite it's going to be close. Democrats, if they sit their ass home, or people that vote Democrat sit their ass home, then this guy will win. But if the Democrats do go out there and vote, or people that's voting Democratic go out there, despite all the barriers they throw to make you get on long lines and try to railroad you around, you still be determined to vote, Donald Trump is going to lose. It's obvious. The way he's acting is crazy in a sense. You know what? They keep talking about Kamala Harris this, Kamala Harris that. They got a white guy, Waltz, whatever. It's a white man. They hate him because of his principles. Now he's a military man. He was a teacher. People love teachers, military people, but now they hate him. It's just a contradiction. They're not going to like him. They're not going to like Kamala. They're going to do whatever they can to persuade people to vote their direction. And there's going to be a lot of propaganda, lies, and things like that. Again, Democrats is not all perfect, but we know that for the most part, they're going to come out with more, things that's going to be tangible and positive, where it's not an angry party. You see the difference of what Donald Trump is portraying. I'll say this, look, I would respect him in the sense of I'd be like, damn, you know what, this guy, he don't like, he's the way he is, but he's trying to unify the country. He's trying to work with people, but he's an angry person. I don't see why a person with his privileges should be so angry even before he got into the office. I mean, he has been enjoying the best things in life in this country, got away with a lot of stuff, and is still angry. And I just don't see. He's just an angry person. It's not going to happen. So, Sarge, I'm sorry to bust your bubble. It doesn't matter what's going to come up, because I heard you say, oh, well, they're coming up with this in Georgia. Bullshit. Listen, when they bring that to the table and change shit up, then I'll see. I see they're trying to railroad some shit with the Georgia election thing and trying to make it where it's decisions and all this other stuff. But if the Democrats are determined, they will get Kamala Harris in office. So, Sarge, keep your hopes up. I don't think he's going to win. I'll leave it there.
Hello, my friends.
All right. Sarge, you can well, you know what? Let me just play this audio of JD Vance saying what he said, and Sarge is confusing people. So here's JD Vance saying that people who have kids should have more power than people who don't have kids.
Let's give votes to all children in this country, but let's give control over those votes to the parents of those children. Children are the future of this country, and yet the parents who have them actually have no advantage in our democratic process. They have a smaller voice in some ways than the people who don't have any children at all. When you go to the polls in this country as a parent, you should have more power. You should have more of an ability to speak your voice in our democratic republic than people who don't have kids. Now, people will say, and I'm sure the Atlantic and the Washington Post and all the usual suspects will criticize me about this in the coming days. Well, doesn't this mean that non-parents don't have as much of a voice as parents? Doesn't this mean that parents get a bigger say in how our democracy functions? Yes, absolutely.
Now, what I'm trying to tell y'all is we heard that clearly. This man did not stutter. But Sarge is on his motherfucking phone saying that ain't what he really meant and that is not what he said. This motherfucker who do not know how the goddamn United States Constitution of America works when it comes to voting and access voting rights and the powers that we have granted by the Constitution, this idiot saying children should have a vote. He's saying, he went on further to say that because you got kids and maybe I didn't want a child, or maybe I cannot have a child, or maybe my child got killed, or maybe I got a divorce, or somehow or another I wound up childless, that because you have children, you should have more power than that person who don't have kids. And you got an idiot on the phone right now telling me that he's okay with this. He's okay with it. What the fuck? Now, Sarge, you heard the man. I don't know what the fuck to say. Sarge? You want to respond? You dummy?
Hey, you goddamn Skippy, I want to respond to you, you goddamn distorted propagandist. You cut off the speech before he finished what he said. Now, there's such thing as literal and figurative. The only people talk about letting children vote are Democrats. They want to, in many places, in many states, they want to lower the voting age to 16. Now, J.D. Vance didn't say about giving the children a vote. He specifically said in a very quickly paid, he was talking about the children having influence through their parents, because their parents have more of a genetic stake in the future than do those who don't have children. How can you say they do if they don't have children? They literally don't have a genetic stake in the future.
Can you turn down your mic, Sarge? You loud as hell, man.
Okay, again, they literally, if you don't have children, you literally don't have a genetic stake in the future. If you don't have children, that means your line dies out. When you have children, that means you have to be concerned not only for them, but for your posterity that you will never see.
Okay, so hold on for 1 minute. So wait a minute. Hold on for 1 minute. Hold on for 1 minute. So I heard what you said. If you don't have children, you literally do not have a genetic stake in the future. That's
not as much as someone who does. That's what I said. Make it plain what I said, not what you say I said.
Okay, hold on. I want you to explain to me, through the Constitution, Where the fuck does it say you have to have a genetic state?
Okay, it doesn't. And let me tell you another thing. Since I answered the question.
Hold on,
now I answer your question. Now let me elaborate. I answered the question. I didn't hesitate. I answered the question. Will you let me finish my goddamn statement? If I was Maine, you let me ramble all night. Wait a minute. If I was Maine, you would let me ramble all fucking night.
Okay,
can I finish?
Go ahead.
All right, let me finish. Again, it doesn't say that in the Constitution. Not every election issue is a matter of the Constitution. It is a matter for individual conscience and what you think also helps the culture. So no, what J.D. Vance said is not a constitutional issue. It is a matter of what is best for the future of this country through our children, and I agree with him 100%.
Okay, so hold on. And I opened two more lines, but let me just say this right quick. Okay, so listen. This is how you know he's bullshitting. Listen, when everybody's swearing to office, they take an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. They don't take an oath to do anything Sarge just fucking said. Their primary, shut the fuck up. Their primary fucking goddamn duty is to support and defend the fucking Constitution. Not put their feelings up there because somebody got goddamn children and other people don't. This is bullshit. Whenever, you know what? Who was this number that I just heard? I heard.
So calling Trump Adolf Hitler, that's part of the Democrats' constitutional duties.
Okay, shut up.
They talk about things other than things that are related to the Constitution. You don't have any problem with that.
Okay, listen, I'm trying to get these other people in.
Yeah, you just don't want J.D. Vance to talk about things that aren't related directly to the Constitution.
J.D. Vance is unfucking qualified to hold fucking office.
He's a natural-born citizen. Can you say the same for Kamala Harris? No. J.D. Vance is a natural-born citizen. That ain't true for Kamala Harris.
He's mentally incompetent, Sarge. Come on. Okay, who is that?
And he's a natural-born citizen.
Yo, let me say something. Can I say something? Hey, what's going on? This is my first time calling.
Okay, what's that?
Wacky word of O.
What's your name, man?
Up, brother? This is the wacky word of O calling.
Okay, wacky word of who?
Of O, like the letter O.
Yeah. Okay, the wacky word of O. Okay, go ahead, wacky word of O. How you doing? All right, go ahead.
Okay, how you doing, bro? I just want to debunk some cockamamie stuff that that Sarge stated, in which he stated that the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, made a law making it lawful to place tampons in the boys' bathroom. Now, I'm looking at the actual law in Minnesota, and it only stated that schools should place tampons in bathrooms of students who menstruate. It never stated the exact gender of the bathroom or the specific bathroom that tampons should be placed in. It just stated that schools should devise a plan to place tampons in school bathrooms where students menstruate. That is it. So Sarge, stop lying, man. Learn to read, learn to have proper reading comprehension. I know it's hard for a lot of these MAGA guys to do that, but learn to read. Try it, man. You know, take your advice from LeVar Burton. You know.
Yeah, reading Rainbow.
Rainbow.
Yeah, appreciate that wacky word.
Hey, Ty, right. I want to say again, I put it out there again, Project 2025, he's running from it. He hung up on me the other day. He said he wanted to debate it, but by the time we got to the SSI discussion, he hung up and ran like a fucking rat. Sarge, I'm putting this out there in public now. Again, let's debate Project 2025. Trump in. And let's get it in.
Negro, I'm gonna tell you right here, right now, right out. I want your ass, and the only thing I said was I wanted to put ironclad conditions on the terms of the debate. That's all I said. I didn't say I didn't want to debate you. You kept wanting to go over some bullshit that was boring as hell, and I tell you, I don't want to talk about this shit. We've already covered it 10 times. So again, let me tell you again, if you want to debate 2025, I'm ready for your ass. Let's get it on and let's solidify the terms of the debate. That's all I want to do.
So the SSI being raised up to 70 made you hang up.
We can debate everything in Project 2025, which, by the way, which, by the way, Trump is disavowed.
Why did you hang up on me when we got to the SSI?
Because you're boring. You keep going over the same shit we've already talked about 50,000 times. Yeah, you can't help yourself. You like some kind of you're kind of like some redundant chatty Cathy with the fucking record stuff. Pull a string out and you keep saying the same thing over and over again.
Okay, so hold on. I got other people.
Well, you asked me why, and now you call me a liar. You dirty, no good son of a bitch. Fuck you.
You're lying.
Okay, hold on.
You asked me why, and I just told you why.
Guys, I just told y'all gonna have to calm down.
Well, he can't help himself now, can he?
Okay, sorry, you're the one yelling. So y'all gonna have to calm down.
Yeah, I'm yelling because the fool is lying again.
Okay, so let me introduce Miss Elisa, and then I got this other unknown caller on this line here. Who is this?
I'm your Huckleberry.
All right, so
He's gonna run now. He's gonna run
okay,
now.
No. Let me say this right here, guys. Don't y'all start that bullshit to where everybody's yelling and screaming over each other. Let's not do that. And whenever it comes to like insults, I mean, just I don't know what to tell you, but try not to insult each other. All right, Elisa, welcome to the show.
Hi, Tyrone. Hi, guys.
All right.
Hey, good evening.
I'm gonna be quick. I'm gonna agree with Jay from New York. Now, before the debate, I was saying all along that Trump is not going to win the election. On debate night, a lot of us were. There's an echo.
Mute yourself if you're not speaking.
All right, there's a lot of people lines open. So if y'all can, while y'all on wait, can y'all just mute your phones?
Hello. Okay,
yeah, you're on.
Can you hear me? Okay. At the debate night, we were all feeling. We were because we called it on the show that Thursday night, feeling a little defeated, and I was a little. It's still an echo, but I'm just going to keep talking. We were feeling a little defeated, but now where we are, I'm back. The echo is bad. I'm back saying that Trump is not going to win this election. It may end up being a nail biter. I don't think so. But let me just answer this as far as a human being. The echo is bad, and there's a lot of.
We don't hear you as an echo, but we don't hear you an echo. But let me ask you before you get into that, why is it that you feel he's not going to win? Why is it?
I never felt he was going to win before the debate because Biden was not. He was unable to push forth the plan. He was able to speak it. He was unable to verbalize it. We all knew that. But where the what do you call it? The polls. Even though he was looking bad in the polls, it depended upon which polls before the debate where he was at in the debate, and it was still neck and neck. It was still neck and neck. So I never believed he was going because of some things. Just because of some things that I listened to and different things like that, he was on the wrong side of the alphabet people. And I'm not going to go into that. But now where we are, more people have somebody else. They don't have to like Kamala. They don't have to like Kamala. So they're going to vote just to not vote for Trump. Trump is just about, him and J.D. Vance, has just about them blew through the women's vote. The young people, because of some of the things that Governor Walz has said as it relates to Gaza, the two-state. He's saying, even though we know U.S. policy as it relates to Israel, you might be able to get a little further. So the young people are going to come out and vote for them. And one of the reasons Trump lost the election when he lost the last election, because he didn't have white men secured up. That's a fact. He did not have white men secured up, and he still don't. And you're seeing these groups that's coming out Republicans for Harris. Republicans for Harris. Now, I would love it if we'll have to have a clear victory. It might be a nail biter, but it might be a clear victory. We still have some months to go, but Trump is not winning this thing, guys. And I'm just going to end this as far as what we were talking about as a person that ministrated, and when I was young and in school, what Walls was able to do for the schools in his state, any and every woman that you speak with will praise that. And here's why. We've all been young, and it's that time, and you're rushing and you're going and you go to school, you're like, oh my God, I left my things at home. And what we had to do, we had to go to the nurse's office to get something. What you had to do if you left your things at home. But what is so good that he did, it's in all of the bathrooms. Whoever needs it, you can have it. And all schools should have that, because that is a biological function of women, and all young girls had screwed up at school, and you needed something. And no one wanted to go to the nurse's office, because if people see you going, they know what it is, they did that. This way, it's available in all of the girls' boys, girls, everybody bathroom. And I like that, and that is wonderful. And it's that kind of stuff that women are going to hear, and they're going to like, and it's endearing. So as someone who menstruated, someone who went to school, forgot, left her stuff, it's things like that. It's time for this country and the things that he's done in his state as far as investing in the people. The United States is way past this prime for investing in the citizens. This country does not invest in its citizens. And you talk about the child tax credit, the family leave, and the different things like that. What is wrong with this country investing in that? What is wrong with this country expanding and doing more for Social Security and Medicare? Those are the kinds of things that maybe a lot of these MAGAs, they don't realize. But that's the kind of things that would help them in their everyday lives. And the way that these people are talking, we have two people that can voice the message that I kept saying was very important. Biden could not do it. They could voice the message. They could get the message out. They could rebuttal. They could fact check fast on their own 2 feet. If that is what this country, before we fall off a cliff, that is what we needed, that Biden was unable to do. Trump is not going to win this election. And for those who think he is, prepare yourself. That's it, Tyrone.
Yeah, and let me just say this right here. When Sarge came on here and lied about putting the stuff in the boys' bathroom, that's what they're going to do. Is they're going to try to come out with the most outlandish stuff and then make these statements. So I appreciate the Wacky World of O coming on, setting the record straight, because Sarge just swoops them out so damn fast.
All right. Well, I'm gonna set the record straight because I'm looking at the bill right now.
Why are you cutting me off, sir?
Yeah, well, I'll set the record straight for you. You keep filibustering, I'll set the record straight in just a minute.
But why do you do this? Like every time I.
All right. Well, I'll set the record straight when you get through with your filibuster.
Okay. You know what, Joe? Go ahead. I'm not gonna be able to talk. Go ahead, Joe.
Well. Look what we have here. Lion and Sarge yet again talking about natural-born citizens. I seem to recall this same conversation about Obama, and that was, 8 years ago? Sarge, it's a dead argument. It's dead. You can keep yelling, screaming, hollering, it's a dead argument. Kamala, well, okay, let's break it down for a minute. In order to win the presidency in America, you have to increase your base. You have to come out of your base and increase it. Kamala did more increase in 2 weeks than Trump did in 9 months. He has not increased his base at all. They may be loud, they may be vocal, but they are not increased at all. In fact, he shrunk his base because people have an alternative now. And as her campaign says, there's no going back. Samsung just came out with an EV battery that can get 600 miles and last 20 years. Remember your battery argument, Sarge? you know, get 300 miles out of it. That shit is dead on fucking arrival. Everything you argue about, everything you hold on to is old, and we are moving past that. You guys are just stumbling blocks. We're roadblocks. We have to get past you. We go over you, and we're moving past it. We're taking America in new directions and new places with new people. And if you don't like it, that's a shame. That's too bad. But you're going to end up watching from the sidelines. You know, you can scream and holler all you want. You can yell and call everybody bitches and all that shit and all that, and hang up and all that mess like that. You just make yourself a running joke because America is moving on. You have a female president that's about to be anointed, and you have a program in place that says we ain't looking back, moving forward. Republicans, traditional Republicans, the ones you call rhinos, are signing up on the Kamala train because they realize this is their chance to finally put that spike in the vampire of MAGA and kill it once and for all. And on another note, something you guys have kind of miss is Trump is fighting to stay out of jail. You know, if he gets elected, and he gets 4 more years, you know, a 4-year pass, and he hopefully, I think he's trying to hedge his bets that he can cancel a lot of the legislation against him. But if he loses, he's going to jail, and there's no way if there's about to right. There's too many lawsuits going on at the same time, you know, for him to fight them all. You know, he will not have immunity. He will not be able to say, "Oh, I'm sitting president. I can't go to jail." Chris Christie himself said, "This man is going to jail. It's inevitable. You can only hold off the stem for so long before sooner or later you got to pay that piper." So with that, I'll let Sergeant Greg yell and scream like a little bitch, and I'll sit back and eat my popcorn and laugh at his ass. So go on.
All right, guys. So hold on for a minute. I just want to play this audio so everybody can hear it.
That we're going to give immunity to police so they can do their job. I'm giving federal immunity to police officers so they can do their job.
When I was speaking earlier, that's the reference I was referring to, is a presidential candidate offering federal immunity to police officers. No other fucking occupation in this nation has that type of cover for their wrongdoings. And the only reason that he would offer that is to say, I'm anti-black, I'm about law and order, fuck the goddamn black people, you can do whatever the hell you want to them. That's why he's talking to white racists whenever he says shit like that, especially when it comes to the police officers. Because whenever you're talking about the police officers in the country, if there is any good ones left, you know, they know that they have a job and they have a responsibility. They signed up to do something dangerous, and that's their fucking job. Whenever it comes to police officers and the black community, there's a history in this country that gets unspoken on the political trail. But as a African American, I know what that history is, and we witness it every day. Hell, we just witnessed it with Sonya Massey and that man having, you know, the freedom to say that I'm going to use my taxpayer weapon and murder this motherfucker and shoot her in the goddamn face. I mean, who the fuck? What kind of job can you go and have that mindset on? What kind of job can you go on and try to be so corrupt that you stealing drugs, planting it in black people, goddamn, planting it on black people, and just coming up with these felonious charges against black people, and felonious, I mean to say. But it's just that's what he's talking to. He's a fucking racist. So he said that, and then there was one more audio I think I'm going to play where Donald Trump praised Tim Walz. Now I don't know how long this is, but let me see. I'll get to the point.
Phrases about Walz saying he, quote, dominated Minneapolis. Let's watch.
I fully agree with the way he handled it the last couple of days. I asked him to do that, and the whole world was laughing. 3 days later, I spoke to the governor. The governor's, I think on the quality, he's an excellent guy. You've got a big National Guard out there that's ready to come in and fight like hell. I tell you, the best, what they did in Minneapolis was incredible. They went in and dominated. And it happened immediately. Tim is on the phone now. Tim Walz, again, I was very happy with the last couple of days, Tim. You called up big numbers, and the big numbers knocked them out so fast it was like bowling pins.
4 years later, Trump is singing a different tune. Here he is on a phone call with Fox News earlier this week. Let's listen.
I never thought this was going to be the one that was picked. I know him a little bit. I helped him very much during the riots because his house was surrounded by people that were waving an American flag. Doesn't sound like very bad people. And he called me, and he was very concerned, very, very concerned that it was going to get out of control. They only had one guard. I guess it was at the mansion or at his house in some form. And he called me. I said, what do you want me to do about it? I was in the White House. He said, if you would put out the word that I'm a good person. He's a very, very liberal man, and he's a shocking pick, and I'm thrilled. I could not be more thrilled.
Trump.
Well, I'm glad that I played the audio because you can't get no more clearer than how much Donald Trump is a hypocrite and he lies about the current political conditions. On the first audio, we heard him praising Tim Walz for the riots in 2020, and if you listen to the complete audio, Tim Walz he's not a joke. Even then, when Donald Trump called him and was praising him for bringing out the National Guard, Tim Walz actually pointed out, look, these people are going through something. They just watched a man get murdered. So, you know, he wasn't on that shit Donald Trump was on. So Donald Trump is a liar. Sarge is a liar. Anybody that's on the fucking goddamn Republican right, they have to lie in order to stay relevant in the conversation. But because I know that people are like me mostly, and they can think for them fucking selves, this is just fodder. It's just fodder. He's funny. He's entertaining. And I wish him better. I really wish you would do better, Sarge. I really wish you can have a complete conversation with somebody to where you're not bringing up all this bullshit like fucking Tim Walz mandated tampons in the boys' bathroom or whatever the fuck you was talking about. Did you just lie all the time? So I just wanted to play those two. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, Tyrone, real quick, I meant to add this. Fox News, they were railing at Tim Walz for giving illegals in Minnesota driver's licenses. And look at what he did. And they caused the most wrecks. And I've heard other Republican pundits just railing on that. And when the election really gets heated up, they're going to wish they didn't because they're lying. Because the police unions, the law enforcement in Minnesota, they backed the law. They wanted that. They wanted them to do that because it made their job easier.
Plus, they could identify
who the people were. Right. It made it help back up for road safety. They backed that law. They asked him to do that. So if they trying to go down a road that's going to get them caught, and 17 other states did the same thing because they said it's better for road safety and it's better to identify who's doing what, this, that on the road. Law enforcement and the police unions back to that. But see,
Sarge knows that he deep down inside he won't admit it, but they want to have a database. And Sarge, if he was doing that job, he would want to know who all those people are, and if they don't have identification, they can create it. Yes, that's exactly
law enforcement
right.
wanted that. They asked for it, and he delivered it for them. That's it, Tyrone.
All right, let me respond to that, Tyrone. Man, you done named me. No. I've had my name mentioned by four people in a row now. I think I'd be able to respond to one thing. Don't you think?
Go ahead. Let him go.
All right, so look here. First of all, to the last thing said about this driver's license. Yeah, that was the police chiefs and all that who are beholden to their Democrat masters who appointed to the job. But you ask the cops on the beat, no, they're not in favor of it. And you know why they're not in favor? Because they know that driver's license for illegal aliens will lead to them being able to vote in state and local elections. And since they don't separate the local candidates from the federal candidates on most ballots, that means illegal aliens will be able to vote in state elections where they have the federal candidates on the same ballot as the state and local ones. So that's not true that anybody but the police chiefs in the rat states that are beholden to their political masters want that sort of thing. It definitely ain't true nationwide. I know that for a fact because I've seen the polls from the FOP and the rank and file do not support it. Yeah, the political masters do, but not the rank and file. Next, let's go on to what Trump said about qualified immunity. Qualified immunity is not something he could grant. I don't care what he says. I don't agree with everything Trump says. He's wrong on that. He has no authority to grant police immunity by federal statute. Now, if he meant by a constitutional amendment, I may or may not support it, given what the amendment says. But there is no way he can do such a thing without a constitutional amendment, which requires 2/3 of both houses of Congress to pass it on to the states, and then 3/4 of the state legislatures have to ratify it. So even if Trump said it, I don't agree with it if he means a statute. If he means a statute, if he wasn't misspeaking, I don't care what he said. He's not right to suggest it. I stand by what I said.
All right, so pause for 1 second and please don't cut me off. Listen, here's the dangerous of a candidate saying that, right? When Donald Trump ran for office, he promised that he would do what? Build a wall at the southern border. That is not the position of the president to use the power of the purse to spend money on a project like that, right? But what did he do?
Congress voted the money.
I'm talking. But just suppose that
under George W. Bush, they paid a budget.
Okay, I'm gonna have to mute you because I want to just oppose the ideas here when you saying blah blah blah. Trump ain't gonna do that. That's bullshit. Because I'm just using that as an example to show you that whenever he get into office, he can do whatever the fuck he want to do because he's the president of the United States, whether it's in the Constitution, legal or not. So whenever he said he want to offer a qualified, complete federal immunity to police officers, that doesn't mean because because you don't think that he's authorized via the Constitution to have that power. That don't mean that he won't fucking do it. We see that he's changing the rules just to get goddamn elected. We see that he changed the rules to give tax breaks to the fucking top 1% of the goddamn country. We see that he changed the rules when he lied and made a campaign promise about building the southern wall and stealing people goddamn money that Steve Bannon is sitting in jail for right the fuck now because of that goddamn campaign promise. So don't sit up here and say it's nothing to worry about when you got somebody who's so close to goddamn power offering immunity to the fucking goddamn KKK. You're full of shit, and don't listen to the dumb shit that Sarge is saying. I'm done.
So again, the money was allocated by Congress by budget during the Bush administration. All Trump did was to carry out the will of Congress in creating money for the wall. He didn't create the program on his own. He simply used his executive authority to distribute monies that were already passed by congressional legislative act to build the wall. And he built 468 miles of it while he was president. So you're wrong again, Tyrone. You just made that up. Now, let me tell you something. Now, Barack Obama made up DACA after he said he didn't have the authority to make up DACA. He said that he had to act because Congress wouldn't act. So on his imperial presidency authority, he went and created a federal program that he had no legislative authority to do from Congress. Biden did the same thing with student loan forgiveness. Supreme Court twice told him, hey, President Biden, you don't have the authority to do it. He did it anyway. So don't come talking to me about Donald Trump doing something with the wall that was entirely constitutional because Congress gave the president the authority to build the wall and allocated money out of the budget to do so. It's not the same thing, and you know it.
Okay, so let's just say you're right about what you just said about President Obama. You said it wasn't authorized for him to do it as the president, and somehow or another he found the means to do it. If it was a campaign promise, and when he got into office, he did that DACA shit or whatever the fuck, he found the means to do it. What I'm trying to tell you is
he just signed an executive order. He didn't have no means.
Okay, please hush while I'm talking. Sorry, I don't cut you off, man. Don't cut me off. What I'm trying to tell you is the dangerousness of Donald Trump promising immunity to the fucking KKK, the Proud Boys, white nationalists in fucking uniform that wear badges, is just going to be a bad impact on the black community. That was my whole fucking point. Why the fuck would he offer immunity to a fucking civilian organization, or well, not a civilian, but a institution like the police officers, if his intentions wasn't to send a message to racists and allow those police officers to continue being corrupt and attacking our community? It's just something to be anti-black is what the fuck he's doing, and it's very dangerous for our community.
Okay, first of all, every questionable case of immunity is not a Sonia Massey case. A lot of them are made up shit like Mike Brown and Trayvon Martin. Well, Trayvon Martin didn't have nothing to do with the police. but Mike Brown certainly did. And the left tried to gin up a case that wasn't true. Even when Obama's Department of Justice investigated Darren Wilson's killing of Mike Brown, they found it entirely justified, and the case was shuttled aside. Not every case is a Sonia Massey case, so you can cut that shit short. In fact, the overwhelming majority of police homicides involving police are completely legally, morally, and ethically justified. You're making shit up, and you know it.
All right, yeah, I'm still here. I just walk away because I knew you were going to say some bullshit, just like you just did.
Yeah, you don't have a response to it either, do you? You're saying most of them are? Most of the police shootings are not justified. Is that what you're saying? So, no, they shouldn't have qualified immunity for a case that may or may not be questionable.
Okay, so, yes, most of the police... All
right, well, then, most people don't agree with you. You're full of shit.
Okay, so, listen. The shootings that I'm referring mostly to is to unarmed black people in this community that gets simple interactions with police officers, with like traffic stops, or walking down the fucking street, or riding a goddamn bike, or being in their own goddamn backyard, or just fucking breathing. Yes, they're unjustified, Sarge. Most of those shootings are, probably 99% of those shootings are unfucking justified. So goddamn, yes, they're unjustified.
There ain't no such thing as an unarmed encounter with a resisting suspect. I'm witness to that my own goddamn self, because I've had suspects fighting with me, trying to take my gun when I was trying to put them under arrest. And they were trying to take my gun from me. So don't give me the shit about an unarmed suspect when I have to bring the gun to the fight. You're full of shit. You're full of shit, and you don't even know what you're talking about.
They wouldn't have the category of unarmed if they was.
Negro, there is no such thing as an unarmed resisting suspect when you're in proximity to police officer fighting with you for your gun.
See, you're a fucking loon.
You're just crazy, and you don't know what police officers have to go through.
Oh my goodness.
You can go to hell with that shit.
Sorry, you probably killed some goddamn unarmed suspects.
Oh, see, now this was one way you can do things, motherfucker. It's just make shit up. You're full of shit. I'll tell you if I killed somebody or not, and I didn't.
Oh, my goodness. Go ahead, Elisa.
Tyrone. No, I was just going to say, as far as, wait a minute, what was that? States that permit driver's licenses for undocumented immigrants. And does having an ID or driver's license allow undocumented immigrants to vote in federal elections? These were the sources that they got. Illegal Immigration Reform and Immigrant Responsibility Act, 1996, USA.gov, report on the Department of Homeland Security Bill, Reuters reporting from August 2022, the National Conference of State Legislature, the National Immigration Law, and various state laws. No. ID or driver's license do not allow undocumented immigrants to vote in federal elections. And they said a lot of this misinformation came from social media and some news outlets. We all know which news outlets you're speaking of. Federal law does not permit and allow non-citizens to vote in federal elections, regardless of whether they have an ID or a driver's license. In 1996, Congress passed the Illegal Immigration Reform and Immigrant Responsibility Act. That law made it a crime for non-citizens to vote in federal elections for president, vice president, and members of Congress. USA.gov, the federal government official web portal, also says non-citizens cannot vote in federal, state, and local elections. Related, no, 500 Venezuelans with temporary protected status won't be able to vote in presidential elections. Many states have laws requiring people to show some form of identification at the polls, but having an ID or driver's license doesn't allow a person to vote in federal elections if they are not a U.S. citizen. Recent confusion online, as usual, can be traced back to a proposed government ID card program for non-citizens. On July 2022, report of the Department of Homeland Security Appropriations Bill says that the bill included $10 million in proposed funding for Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, secure docket card program. The program would allow non-citizens access to immigration files and documents. It's not clear where the program stands right now, But ICE did not respond to verify requests to comment on the agency spokesperson told Reuters in August 2022 that the ID card will not be an official form for federal identification. The card would be used to help non-citizens keep track of pending and immigration cases. As for the driver's license, 19 states and the District of Columbia allow undocumented immigrants to apply for them. According to the National Immigration Law Center and National Conference of the State Legislature, states can choose who is allowed to get a driver's license since there are no federal rules on issuing them. So y'all heard that. No federal laws on issuing driver's licenses. But those driver's licenses do not grant a person citizenship or the right to vote in federal elections either. Some of the states' laws even make it clear. Now, these are the states who are allowing driver's licenses for non-U.S. citizens. Make it clear that the licenses, this is what the states is doing, licenses alone cannot be used for voting, or that they are not valid or accepted for official federal purposes. The process for undocumented immigrants to get a driver's license varies by state and can take months or even years. Undocumented immigrants generally need to provide foreign birth certificate, foreign passport, or consular card, as well as evidence of current state residency, the NCSL says. So it is verified that having an ID or driver's license does not allow undocumented immigrants to vote in federal elections. Hence, this is the reason why the law enforcement in Minnesota asked him to do this. And the states, some of the states, they put it down that you can't, well, you show up with a driver's license if you show up for the states that I guess, because in our state you don't need a driver's license to vote. But when they pull up the thing, you have to be down there, your name, address, and all of your information. Just showing up with a driver's license, you cannot vote if you're not registered to vote. And the states who allow them to vote, they make it clear that a driver's license cannot be used to vote. You have to be registered to vote. So the people that sit up here talking about they're going to be able, that was misinformation put out to allow people to get the wrong idea and the wrong understanding, not trying to understand that through our social media and bad news organizations put this stuff out, put these conspiracy theories out, that you have people believing them. These people cannot vote just because they have a driver's license, but it makes it easier for the police to do their job if they do.
Yeah, it makes sense for those people to have ID, and it's clear. I mean, we shouldn't even be having this conversation. Only U.S. citizens can vote in federal elections. That's just the end of it. There's no even, but they say all this stuff to scare people and lie about Democrats allowing people to vote in federal elections and all that kind of bullshit. Okay, so who's this unknown caller line I just opened? This line right here. Whose line is this?
Man, your view finger so quick, man. You think your nigga time to say, hey.
Oh, what's up, Big OC?
Big OC.
What's happening?
Nothing, man. I just tapped in, but I just heard Miss Elisa talking about misinformation, and the internet needs to get fed, man. And it ain't nothing but bullshit every day now, you know. And I just real quick remark on the trans boxer lady that they were calling trans from Algeria. It just lets you know how some people want to glom on to something that they can make political and try to attack based on some bullshit ass information. And people gonna run with that because, you know, they looking for the low hanging fruit and for the easy shit. Everybody want to do the easy shit. So if it sounds good to them, they gonna repeat it and say it because there really ain't no consequences for it anymore. This internet has created a world really there's no consequences no more. I literally can say that wasn't me, that was AI, and it might be believable now. So I don't know what's to come in the future with if we gonna use this computer and this internet to try and gather our news. That's it.
Yeah, I can tell you, Big OC. You heard about what happened in Mississippi recently, where the Republicans tried to pass a law basically saying that any mail-in ballot that comes in after the voting date is going to be invalidated. So this would have invalidated, any military or any, ballot that was caught in the mail. It may be arrived late. So currently, it's like it has to be postmarked by voting day, and the Republicans tried to sneak that through because if they could have gotten it done in Mississippi, then they could say, oh, well, Mississippi did it, and they could try and rubber stamp it and put it all over the country. But Mississippi, and the strangest set of circumstances, said no way. That would be against the Constitution. So they try to do this sneakily all over the country. These little lawsuits and stuff to try and affect how people vote and what happens. Same thing with the drop boxes in Wisconsin, all that stuff like that. So yeah, this is what they do. They try and look at the shiny thing over there. Meanwhile, they try and sneak in the back door with stuff.
Yeah, it's clear that they're trying to rig the system, man, and it should be obvious to Republicans and people like Sarge that if you have to rig the fucking system, if you have to change the rules of the game, you're not doing something right. They're doing it so much they got Sarge standing out there with fucking binoculars in a camo suit looking at fucking ballot boxes. It is fucking silly. The system that y'all are trying to mess with has been working and elected 45 goddamn presidents so goddamn far, and there was nothing wrong with the motherfucker, and all of a sudden there's all these flaws wrong with it. No, there's nothing wrong with the system. There's nothing wrong with the damn system.
It isn't.
No, all of a sudden we had universal mail-in balloting. That's what's the difference, and you act like it isn't. Universal mail-in balloting, heretofore never before allowed in 50 states of the union, ever. Now all of a sudden it's there and you say there's nothing wrong with it, despite everything we show you is wrong with it. Are you serious?
But you haven't shown
we know
anything that's
better.
Wrong with it. You haven't come up with any evidence that there's anything wrong with it.
Okay, hold on. He was talking about universal mail-in
Yes,
ballots.
we have. We have, and you ignore it.
If universal mail-in ballots was the only thing that y'all talked about, maybe you have a conversation. But y'all was blaming dead people. Y'all was saying people was voting twice. Y'all was saying all this crazy shit.
The evidence was just introduced yesterday in the last 2 days in the Georgia Board of Elections, in the Georgia State Election Board, and the Georgia State Election Board, after seeing the evidence, has said they are now reopening the investigation in the Fulton County after seeing the double-counted ballot images with the same batch file and the same number that is indisputable. That's why they're reopening the case.
Okay, do you realize that it's 4 years later? It's 4 years later.
It doesn't matter. The truth will come out, whatever it is. I don't care if it's a Kennedy assassination. How long ago was that?
Yeah, but the problem is, Sarge, you claimed a whole bunch of shit during the election period.
And we're going to be proven right too. We're going to be proven right because more evidence keeps coming out, and you keep ignoring it. And it doesn't matter what I cite to you, you'll say it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter what you're shown.
Sarge, it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the courts think. And the courts say it doesn't matter.
And I'll tell you what, we're going to see if the court's going to ignore the state election board. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see if they decide to do that.
They already have.
No, they haven't. They just voted on it yesterday. How can the state say we're not going to hear it? It hasn't even come to their attention yet.
Tell me the one successful court case that has come from this.
Okay, again.
Name
not one case, listen to me. Not one case has been heard on the merits yet. And you know what? From 1896 to 1954, they didn't hear any cases on Jim Crow either. It took 58 years, pal. But one day it's going to come through. One day it's going to come through. No matter what your efforts are to stop it.
Sarge always needs something to hang on to. You ain't gonna be able to get him off it until this shit dissipates. Then he'll go on to the next shit. You know how the game goes.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Now, just a minute ago, you were telling me that the courts haven't taken it up. Now, all of a sudden, you're telling me what's important is whether or not Sarge cares about it or not. That's what's important. What does Sarge care about it? No, I'm not that important. The issue is, though, and it's not going to die.
Yeah, well, it's not going to die because Republicans keep bringing it up. But at the end of the day, you guys lost 60 plus court cases because the court said there was no merit. No merit.
No, that's not what they said in every case. That's not what they said in every case. No, that is not. They said no standing most of the time.
There's 5
No,
words.
you're wrong again, Joe. You're wrong again. They said no standing most of the time. There's a difference.
Okay, there's 5 words. Hold on, there's 5 words that can resolve this whole situation. We're not going back. Is that 5? How many words is that?
Well, you keep being confident. Hey, you just, I tell you what, you just keep being confident in that, and we shall see.
We are not going back.
Not only
We're
that.
still
Good luck with that.
Hold on.
We're still waiting for the red wave you promised. It never happened.
All
Good
those
luck with
60
that.
Cases, right? Those 60 cases, they were dismissed, right? They didn't get to go. What happened?
Yeah, for various reasons, none of which had anything to do with the merits of the case. Not one.
Okay. Oh, all right. So I just want to
What happened to Rudy Giuliani? Sorry. I just want to know what happened to Rudy.
Right now, you know what? Right now, Judy Giuliani may be on the way to being vindicated.
Rudy.
Because of what's developing in Georgia where he got in all the trouble. And again, like I said, you want to ignore it all because it doesn't redound to your case. So that's why you want to ignore it all. But guess what? We who know better are not going to ignore it.
You're accepting everything because you want your guy to win. So
that's right, I do. I do, but I'm not going to make up things like you do.
You will not accept
Yes, you are.
Sarge,
I'm
you
not.
admit it. You're not going to accept any defeat.
I'm not. Yeah, I want him to win, but I'm not going to make up anything to help him win. You don't care. You will do exactly that.
Sorry, you're making.
Well, he does enough
That's
making
why
up
your
on
court
his
cases
own.
got kicked out because you were making up shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't make up what happened in the state election board today.
But you believe it.
I didn't make that up. Yeah, damn right I do. And I also didn't make it up.
I know.
And I believe it. Yeah, and I believe it too.
I know you do.
All right, motherfucker. So don't tell me I didn't make it up.
Calm down, man. Damn.
Cocksucking just goes back, motherfucker.
Stupid is
For
and
all
stupid
the
does, Sarge.
For all the evidence that the Sarge claims is there, they can't get it.
No, I didn't claim it's there. I can cite it.
Do you mind, sir?
Double counted ballots with the same batch number in different batches to make it difficult to detect in the hand recount and the machine recount. The only possible way that thing could have happened is with human intervention. And they were able to show that in the case today.
Okay, Satchel
3,393 double counted ballots.
Oh, wow. A whole 3,000.
Okay, but Trump needed
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's just the tip of the iceberg. That is just the tip of the iceberg. They haven't even gotten to the other counties yet.
I need 11,000.
We don't give them those. We don't give them that
Give me
6,000.
11,000. I need 11,000.
Like I said, you don't care what the evidence is. You just want to deny it.
Sarge, just because you're calling it evidence doesn't make it evidence. The court has to determine it's evidence, and they haven't done that
And
yet.
that's the next step.
It's not going to get to that step.
And that's the next step. Well, I'm glad to see we got a crystal ball. That's really interesting to know that you have a crystal ball.
But I can read.
That sounds to me like you do. You're stating something as fact.
Sarge, if we base it on what happened previously, what are we to come up with? That this time it's going to be for real? This time.
1.7 million of the ballot images in Georgia were missing from the 2020 election recount. You're a motherfucker. Don't call me a liar, you cocksucking brokeback motherfucker. I'm telling you what came out in the goddamn thing today under oath.
You Benoit ball wearing red hat.
You piece of goddamn low-life shit. You don't New York piece of gutter trash. Go back to the rodents in the sewer. Take your...
All right, listen.
Yeah.
I know that y'all want to get on here and Joan and all that kind of stuff, but y'all got to calm down. I know it's fun and this ain't at the after hours, but y'all just got to remember that I try not to have the Benoit balls and all of this kind of crap on here if y'all don't mind. If y'all can't have a conversation, then y'all can't have a conversation, but just cool out with that dumb shit. You can still talk about politics or whatever, but just with that stuff, just y'all calm down with it.
They got no choice. That's what they got to do when they're on the losing end. They start name calling. Yes, I said bastard Joe Neckbone. That motherfucker's one of the worst.
You just called the man a bastard.
Yeah. I'm gonna call him it again when he does it again.
Can you calm down, though?
You're motherfucking right. I'm gonna say the same damn thing again when he does it again, and he will, because he's gonna be losing again.
I'm not losing, dude. You guys.
Yeah, you're losing. You just called me a liar. I was just called a liar for citing what came out in the board today, and I was called a liar.
Sorry.
You
guys have not won a court case yet. Yes.
So what? So what? Look how long it took to get Brown versus Board of Education. 58 years. So what?
Yeah, but that's
so what? Who cares? The only way you lose is when you give up.
When your man goes to jail, yeah.
Keep having your wet dreams, pal. He's not going to jail. No matter what. He ain't going to jail.
You gonna break him out?
Yeah, okay.
You gonna break him out?
No. What do you think that New York judge pushed back the hearing date for? He had to reconsider the ruling by the Supreme Court in his sentencing. That's why. Because some of the evidence that they gathered against him was obtained while he was president. Some of the evidence that Alvin Bragg used against him was obtained while he was president. So now the judge has to reconsider the jury verdict in light of the Supreme Court ruling. That's why.
I think we were talking about New York. He has two other big.
See, this is what I mean. No, because you motherfuckers keep changing the subject. I got to respond to it every time you do. Every time you change the subject like that, I respond to it like this. The man just got through saying about he's convicted. He is not convicted until the judge accepts the jury verdict and enters a finding of guilt. And that hasn't been done yet.
Yeah, he's convicted, brother. He's convicted.
In your mind, he is. When the judge doesn't get back to me, when the judge doesn't get back to me. Until then, I'm not relying on what you say.
Who said we talking about Alvin Bragg? He's convicted of being a child.
The judge has not yet accepted that jury verdict and entered it as a finding. Don't you understand that what is necessary? Why do you keep denying it like it doesn't matter? You don't know anything about the law, or you choose to ignore it.
Okay.
You're grasping at straws right now.
No, you're full of shit right now.
You're just saying anything, Sarge.
Yeah, I'm saying the truth and the fact of the matter of the law. You call him convicted felon, you're guilty of slander. If you say the jury found him guilty and they made a verdict, that would be correct.
Well, look, try to bring this back to the middle. I'm just happy that the Democrats got their footing, and we finally have a message that is going to try to reunite and get people back enthused in this country to vote these fucking authoritarians and dictators out of fucking office. Hopefully, and it's going to be an uphill fight, y'all.
Yeah, like senile Joe.
Hold on. So we got to go to the polls, and y'all got to share the word to get everybody to fucking polls so they can vote. To get these people the fuck out of here. Mama's boy, what's up, man?
Here, Tyrone, here, Harris, and Walls. Go out there and vote until you drop your balls or drop your draws. Whatever one comes first. But get your ass out there, motivate, negotiate. Hey, if you have to, fumigate, but get your ass out there and vote. And when you see a buck-toothed, bald-headed, light-skinned half Negro driving a little H3 with his windows down and his flag perched on the back damn bumper, you just shoot that motherfucker the bird as you go to the polls. Say, check this out in your binoculars, sir. Check this motherfucking shit out.
What, the middle finger?
That's right.
Was that a perceptive and really smart comment? Congratulations, Mama's boy. Really good. Shit.
Sorry, you a damn trip.
These motherfuckers are absurd beyond belief. Got to be Democrats.
But listen, did you see any other Harris rally, Sarge?
Yeah. I saw Megan Thee Stallion up there singing about a pussy on the way to introducing the vice president. I saw dozens and dozens of people filing out of the arena when Megan Thee Stallion stopped performing and Kamala Harris started speaking. I saw that. What did you see, Tyrone? What did you see, Tyrone? I saw it. Motherfucker, you better quit calling me a liar, you goddamn son of a bitch. I will show you what I saw. I got the video. I got the video. I'll put a link to it in the chat room.
That was Trump's rally.
I'll put a link to it in the chat room, you silly son of a bitch. Let me put it in there and you go watch it if you got the guts.
I don't want you to put your video in.
No, you probably don't.
About as good as J.D. Vance's campaign.
Hold on, guys. Let Elisa. Let Elisa go ahead.
I saw Megan Thee Stallion. That's not my era, but I saw Megan Thee Stallion, who has 35 million followers.
Yep.
Said she's bringing her hotties to vote for Harris. That's what I saw. Miss Stallion got 35 million strong followers that she calls her hotties. Her hotties, who she's bringing over. She's pushing them all over to Harris. That's what I saw. That's it.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, and that means whether they got coochies or not, Sarge, it don't matter. It don't matter.
Hey, Tyrone. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you what was really going down, and it's probably got Sarge a little pissed. Who is this?
That's Big OC, man. I'm just saying how they cry about me.
They had Hulk Hogan. Recognize you, dog.
They had Hulk Hogan and shit all on stage and shit.
Yeah, talking about
drunk ass Kid Rock.
Kid Rock, nasty trailer park ass out there at a damn convention. That's some fucking hoe shit right there. But Tyrone, hold on real quick. The problem with, Sarge and his ilk is that they losing the election and the news cycle at the same damn time. Yeah. And you see a panic. You watching and listening to panic right now because Harris and Walz are taking off with the news cycle and taking off with the money and finna take off with the presidency. And this is just an effort to try to stop it, to try to change the direction. That's why Trump had that press conference today to try to get back into the news cycle, a little feeble effort. And he looks smaller. I'm telling you, he looks a lot different now. Maybe it's the suit. Maybe he need to go back to that ugly ass blue suit instead of just dark blue suit. It makes him look thinner or smaller or something. I don't know what it is.
Well, that's what we always said, is that Trump is always in the news, and Harris and Walz have taken over that media attention, and hopefully they can continue to do that. And it's sad to say that you got to do something, magnanimous, so the media pay attention to you. But they really pay attention to Donald Trump because he's stupid, and he
No,
motivates.
but listen. I agree. Keep him on the thing. That's what they said, and I agree. Keep him on the TV talking. Let him keep talking.
I agree.
Because he's gonna listen. You know what? Some of his base, as much as they love him and Lord, some of them people are gonna get turned off. There's gonna be maybe a small little portion, not a lot, but there's gonna be a small portion that say, you know what? He's fucking turning me off. Like, he just keeps going. And those patriotic people that they're, like, supposed to be, like, warriors and fighters and all this, right, tough shit, right? And they see him complaining, they're going to be, like, saying, yo, he's acting like a fucking pussy. You know what I'm saying? So he keeps complaining like a victim and this and that. Bro, he's going to keep whining. Whining after a while gets some people, anybody turned the fuck off. Unless you like whining. I'm just saying. It could be your family member. They keep whining.
All that whining,
want to get away from.
Well, he never talks about policies. Harrison them is out there telling us what they're going to do for the American people. As far as
he's going to build the wall. He's going to build the wall.
Well, they're talking about the Affordable Care Act. They're talking about family paid leave and child shit. They're talking about shit. And this guy never talks about policy ever. Sarge, give me a Trump. Give me a Trump.
They talk about electrical vehicles, more and more abortion. Yeah, it really excites the American people. Yeah.
Give me a Trump policy, Sarge. A domestic policy.
Energy independence, net exporter as opposed to a net importer. Well, that's one thing.
Biden already achieved that. Give me another one.
See how quickly I answered your question? Didn't take me no time at all.
Biden already achieved it. So give me another one.
No, we have not achieved. Right now, we are a net exporter as opposed to a net importer.
No, we're not.
That was the opposite. That was the opposite way around with Donald Trump. If you look, I mean, look at mathematics. Look at the amount of oil we were exporting and subtract it from the amount of oil that we were importing, and you will see we were a net exporter of oil. Simple mathematics about it. That might be beyond your abilities, but if you don't know how to do it, ask somebody who does.
That's because Biden opened up and doing more drilling than Trump ever did.
This is before Biden got elected. We were a net exporter. I see. So now we're saying we're a net exporter of oil as opposed to import. So we're energy independent right now under Biden. That's what you're saying?
No.
I didn't think so. I didn't think so because we're not.
We're moving to a different economy, Sarge.
Oh,
we're
transitioning. We're transitioning, right, Joe?
Samsung just came up with a 600-mile, 20-year EV battery.
No, sure. More pipe dreams. More pipe dreams.
Real. It ain't pipe dreams.
It is. It is. They've been saying this since, I don't know. They've been saying this since 2005.
So you're saying
you talk about me and my court cases. Jesus Christ. Yeah. This forever battery. This forever battery's been in the works for the last 25 years, and we ain't seen it yet.
Is that what you're saying, Sarge? Technology doesn't work?
That's not what I said. I said this forever battery has been in the works for 25 years, and we still ain't seen it yet.
It sounds like you resist technology.
They just showed it. What are you talking? We haven't seen it yet. They just showed it.
Wow.
What is this? Hey, Joe. What is this energy density? Did you get a report on that?
Not yet.
Well, you need to, because I'm telling you, I've seen this, and it is somewhat inadequate compared to petroleum.
Okay, give me another policy. Goddamn.
A real honest question. Whatever you living in your mind, are you in the 60s, 70s, or 80s? Whichever you.
I'm for technology that is useful and works in the present, not as some pipe dream for the future. When they get it mature, when the technology matures and it's ready for prime time, get back to me.
No, but this is what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be funny.
Hey, Sarge, let me ask you a question. Obviously, it's a rhetorical question, but are you still talking on the same cell phone that you started using cell phones with?
I'm not a particularly aficionado of cell phones. I don't want a device hanging around me all the time that's snitching on me. I'm not particularly worried about it. Frankly, I don't think about it very much. I don't have an answer.
Okay, Sarge.
I said I don't think about it very much. I don't have an answer for you.
Hold on, Mama's boy. Let me hit you out with that, Sarge. Mama's boy, you might need to go to another question, right? Because when Sarge called, wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute, another device, another piece of equipment, another technology. Because when Sarge called me, and I missed his phone call sometime, I have to call his number back. And I swear to you, this man still has a fax machine in his house. So you may need to ask him about another piece of technology.
I don't have a fax machine. I have an answering. No, I have an answering machine. What are you talking about? It works perfectly well as an answering machine. So what? What do I need? I need to come up with something new and the other one works.
Hold on, Mama's boy. He just clarified. He still has an answering machine. When we all have voicemails on our goddamn telephone. So,
well, be my guest.
There you go. So ask him about.
Well, be my guest. What floats your boat works for you.
I got you. I'm trying to help you out, nigga.
You know Tyrone?
And by the way, Joe Biden's got a '67 Corvette. In case you haven't noticed.
Now, how Joe Biden?
Sarge.
He's very proud of driving it around.
Is it digital or cassette? Are you still?
I don't have a car that old.
No, I'm saying, does your answer machine take cassettes, like the mini cassettes still? Are you using
the
old ones?
No, it doesn't take any cassettes. You got any more stupid questions?
No. Seriously.
I was trying to get Mama's boy to ask you another question with another piece of technology. That's all. I wasn't trying to dog or Jonah you in that.
is a digital answering machine and is perfectly fine for my purposes. I see no need to replace it.
I got another question. Tyrone said pick a different piece of technology. It's sort of similar. This one should work. Are you still using the Commodore 64 that you started using computers on?
No, sir. In fact, I build desktop computers. The one I'm having right now. The one I know. I'm answering. Now, you want to answer my question? You want to answer your question, or you want to filibuster me out of answers? What do you want to do? Let me say it again. I build my own computer. I have an Asus motherboard, a Prime B450 Plus megabyte motherboard. The motherboard has Rand's got let's see, it's a UEFI BIOS with easy flash. It uses a socket AMD 4 B450 Ryzen CPU. It's got a 60 gigabyte SATA drives of 6 slots, by the way, 3 USB ports, and has a Expert T4 core. So it's pretty up to date. It does everything. It does everything I needed to do as a computer. It's more than adequate, and I build them whenever I find my old ones being obsolete. I get the requisite parts. I get myself a nice chassis, and I do it myself. And the computer I'm using right now to be on the chat room is a computer that I built by myself. So motherfuck you and what you think you know.
Tyrone, hold on, brother. Let me finish up. Cause I asked the
question. One back at you. One back at you. Let's talk technology. Hey, let's talk technology.
I am. Can I respond? Respond.
Yeah, respond.
Okay. Now you sort of, without, I guess, just letting you talk allowed you to answer the question, and I appreciate your answer because even your antiquated self, you have to reach out to technology. You no longer are using a DDR. You don't switch to SSD because it's a whole lot more efficient and faster.
That's right. You know? In fact, I put 2 of them in my computer. I got 2. I got 2 terabyte SSD hard drives. I got 2.
I'm still
I got
talking
4 terabytes.
I'm still fucking talking here. I'm still fucking talking.
Just so you know how advanced I am.
I did not interrupt you. Fuck how advanced you are. I did not interrupt you, sir.
Yeah, I know. You like to pigeonhole me, don't you?
I'm just asking.
Pigeonholing me doesn't work, pal. I'm beyond your capability.
Courtesy.
Sir,
I'm beyond your capability.
Let him talk one at a time, please.
I'm just asking for the same courtesy, sir, that I issued to you. When you was talking, I shut my fucking mouth. So when I'm talking, you need to shut your fucking mouth.
Maybe not. Depends on what you say.
Yeah, look at it.
Come on, man.
The fact that you have accepted, I guess, your amount of technology is acceptable. The fact that whatever you accept, that's the only acceptable amount. Maybe it's different for others. Maybe other people like a little bit more technology or a little bit more accepting of more technology than you are. But you still, the old goat that you are, you still are riding in a taxi now. You're not walking anymore. You're not climbing up mountains, you mountain goat. You now take a Uber. So it's my
anything meaningful to say? Do you have anything meaningful to say?
Hold on, sorry.
I don't hear anything but white noise. It's like static. It's like static.
But I'm getting
yeah, well, get to the point. Shit or get off the pot, will you?
Sorry, come on, man. Let the man talk.
He's wearing this white noise. He's saying nothing.
Well, hey, listen. I have to sit through your white noise. You have to.
Yeah, but at least I'm brief.
Sarge,
well,
you're not being fair.
You really aren't.
True.
But
maybe not.
What else is new?
Maybe not. What else? What else is new?
So the fact that there is a difference in the way you think about technology and other people shows the reason why you getting left behind, and people think what you're saying is weird because what you're saying sounds antiquated.
Well, you collaborating on this word weird?
So that's the whole. This shit is weird. That's the whole point. You sound like a weirdo now. You're not even sounding great anymore, Sarge. So
I'm not hip. You mean I'm not hip? Oh Lord, so I'm not hip. Oh no, whatever.
Well, that's the deal with the whole party, man. Is that they're all involved in other people's situations and try to control what other people do. And Tim Walz, in the campaign the other night, he just said it simply. He said, "Mind your own goddamn business." And that's what Yeah, he didn't say goddamn. He said damn. But that's what the Republican Party has been doing. Is they've been trying to control other people's lives and tell other people what to do. And you heard that when Sarge is talking about technology and advancing technology, about what he got is enough for everybody else. No, other people are interested.
That's not what I said. I said it's enough for me. You don't listen too good.
Other people are interested in advanced technology, more advanced than what you have. But, you're trying to say because other people are interested, then it ain't.
And I said it's enough for me. That's all I said. I don't rule the universe. I'm not a Democrat. I don't try to rule the universe and tell you what kind of toilet you got to buy, how much water you can use to flush your shit away. That's what Democrats like to do.
You'd rather be in a woman's womb. You ain't talking about the toilet. You trying to get in a woman's womb.
I don't know who you
Well, you know what?
Hold on, goddamn. I'm not done. I think he was talking.
The day what's in a womb is the same chromosomes as her, I won't be interested anymore.
Shut up. I think you was talking to Joe, and you was putting down the EV vehicles or some bullshit like that. But what Mama Boy, yeah, but Mama's Boy is saying that that it's not for you, but other people might like that technology and want to be.
That's not what I said. See, that's what I mean about you. Every time we have a discussion, I got to correct the things you say that I said, which I didn't say. You almost never have to do that with me.
Mind your own damn business. How about that?
Because I listen to what you say, and I accurately say back what you said.
You said EVs wasn't for you.
Yes, that's what I said.
Well, that's what the fuck he said.
And then what I said was the government's got no business trying to force it on us when the consumer market doesn't want it. They can't give these fucking things away.
And the point is the consumer market obviously wants it because Elon Musk is a goddamn quadrillionaire based off of it. You fucking idiot.
Negro, have you not seen what the sales lots out there that is doing? Yeah, tell me how many. How many, Negro? How many are there? You brought it up. Now you better be right.
5 or 10. About 5 or 10.
Yeah, you full of shit, nigga. I knew you were going to tell the truth. See what I mean about this bastard? He thinks I don't know answers to this shit. I'll tell you right now, Teslas are being sold Teslas are being sold to a small elite of people. The masses of people do not want these fucking things. They still want to use the internal combustion engine because of its flexibility.
You're a fucking liar.
Well,
and you're full of shit. You broke back cocksucker New York gutter rat.
Can I say something real quick, Joe, before you get it in? If you're right, then it looks different in Dallas. I don't know about the rest of the country, but I know I see about 20 to 30 Teslas a day out here. Everybody
it's not only Tesla. The other car companies are building EVs too, man.
A Lucid too. Look, I got a customer got a Tesla and a Lucid, but my point is, over time, over the past 5 to 6 years, more and more EVs are on the road, especially Teslas. It's the Tesla that I see the more of every morning when I'm on my way to go take care of my business. You know what I'm saying? I know Sarge he's hounding this EV shit, but the shit done got so cold. They got damn electric charging stations at the grocery store up the street. They got 2 of them, and they're putting more in. It's not they're just stopping there. They're putting more in, and I see them setting up to do that. And so, and this is in the hood. This is in the hood, Sarge. This ain't in the suburb. Just the suburb. This is they do it. So Negroes is buying Teslas, and Mexicans are buying. My homeboy bought one. His was $70K. You know what I'm saying? He didn't give a shit. He's smiling and losing weight. He looking good.
Listen, mama boy, Donald Trump has just got a gift of Elon Musk Cybertruck, an electronic goddamn vehicle. Sarge, what you got to say about that?
You know something? I swear to God, you act as though I am against the electrical vehicle, and I am not. You don't listen to what I no. You don't. I am against the government attempting to shoehorn into these not yet ready for prime time vehicles. That's my objection. And you never listen to what I say. You just tell me what I say.
Okay, so listen.
So you ought to take the fucking wax out of your ears and listen to what I say. And I wanted to spend some time correcting you on what I actually said.
Okay, well,
if we did
the government is not on car lots forcing people to buy electronic vehicles. They just are not.
So a federal mandate that all vehicles sold in the United States by 2030 is not a mandate from the federal government. Really? What world do you live in?
They're not forcing people to buy electric.
You didn't hear what I just said, did you? Joe Biden has created a federal mandate. All new vehicles sold in the United States in 2030 must be EVs. Now, I don't think that's going to happen by 2030, but he has nonetheless attempted to mandate it. What part of that don't you understand?
Okay,
because a mandate would make sure you would put your raggedy ass vehicle in the damn tank and go get one. He ain't telling you to do that. He just saying if you manufacture any new vehicles in 2030, they're gonna have to be EV. So we can quit fucking with Saudi Arabia.
And you don't see that? You don't see that as a distinction without a difference? Whatever.
I think it's a big difference.
Okay, whatever.
Listen,
well, a lot of people don't agree with you. A lot of people don't agree with you.
Won't you do like Tim Wall said and mind your own damn business? Mind your own damn business. How about that?
Yeah, well, tell that motherfucker to stay out of my fucking garage then.
We're not
go
going
drive
back.
your Hummer.
I'll decide what kind of vehicle I want to buy.
We're not going
You're going to be all right.
We're not going
you
back,
know?
Sarge. We're not going back, okay?
Tell that motherfucker stay out of my garage. I don't like him interfering around in my garage.
Technology going to pack me.
Not that it's going to matter. Not that it's going to matter because I don't ever intend to buy a new car anyway, so it don't matter fuck to me. But to a lot of other people, it does.
Hey, Sarge, you know what you remind me of? You know what you remind me of?
I really don't care, but I suppose you're going to tell me whether I want to hear it or not.
I'm going to
go ahead. Whatever.
I'm going to tell you.
Whatever. I'm sure you will. Yeah. Okay.
When I was a young whippersnapper around 13, 14, I used to hear, the older people saying, they weren't going to be messing with the computer. They wasn't going to be, buying no digital watch. You know what I'm saying? They going to buy a real watch with a hands on it. They ain't going to buy no digital. It's a refusal to move forward, even if they accept part of it, because they'll be in an electric wheelchair wheeling around, but they won't put on a digital watch. It's funny as hell. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you half in, you half out. Some parts of technology you accept, maybe because you have to, and other parts of technology you refuse to be a part of. And that's the herd thinning right there. You just gonna fall off to the wayside.
I'm part of the herd mentality, and I don't go along with the herd, but I'm part of the herd mentality. That's rich.
Okay, whatever. The weakest fall to the wayside. And
I won't go along. I won't go along with the crowd. So I'm part of the herd mentality, and I'm not going along with the crowd. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
I thought you knew me by now. I'm still gonna finish what I'm saying.
Mama's boy.
Yeah, I know. Whatever.
So
whatever.
We witnessing here.
Whatever. Reason. Let's have a little reason. A bit of consistency might be nice.
Donald Trump, you complaining and whining about falling off to the wayside because you refuse to go along with the way life is pushing you. Because technology is not going to go backwards, bro. The whole word technology means forward thinking, forward. I don't teach you that.
So wait, so you don't believe in minding your own business, then, do you?
I do believe in minding my own business. You mind yours, I'm gonna mind mine.
You want to mind my business and what kind of technology I'm using.
This is a big concern to you. You going to get there eventually.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you that the government's got no business. The government's got no business with all these mandates.
When you fall by the wayside, I won't be nowhere near you. I'm gonna be up front.
Oh,
trust
so
me.
now you're concerned for my welfare, are you?
Hey, listen, you'll be like that tree in the forest.
Oh, please. Give me a fucking break.
You hear me? When you make reference to me, you will be like the tree in the forest. Does it make a sound when it falls? Huh? I won't be around. I'm up in the front.
Okay.
You falling out of the PT run now. You falling back. You falling back.
Whatever. This makes all the sense in the world to me now. It's all consistent and it makes all the sense in the world. Yes, sir, Bob.
You guys are scared, my boy.
Coming from a law enforcement background, I mean, I look, we understand that some people like certain laws and not certain laws, but for you to say, oh, well, the government is impeding in this, the government impedes in a lot of shit. You know, it's like saying, well, we free and we're not free because there's all type of shit that we got to deal with. Stop acting like there's no rules and regulations that's going to be put. And yeah, you're not going to like some of this shit. I don't like a lot of shit, but they have it, right? So what you got to do is just keep arguing. Maybe you get some people to agree with you. But if you don't get a large amount of people that want to stay behind, Sarge, you know, things is going to move forward.
So tell me, what is the purpose of the government mandating electrical vehicles by 2030? What is the purpose of that?
So I mean, look, Sarge, we had this history of conversations of vehicles. Look, there was a time that there was horse and carriage. There was a time that when the car came out, they didn't have all those rules and regulations because they had to learn as time progressed. And then they put rules, and then they had to mandate, the engine so it won't blow up. They had to make sure that it was they go through what is that inspection, that all these products that are mechanical products, right? They get they go through a testing process through the government, and then they all registered, and then you're able to put them out. Before that came about, there was still people creating mechanical things, and then the government decided, they said, listen, we're going to have to put a regulation on this stuff and have it go through a process to make sure that these things are safe, right? Before they didn't have that, but then they put it. Guess what? People probably was upset about it, but then what? It became a standard, Sarge. There's a lot of things that started with no rules and regulations, and they have them now. So I don't understand what you say. Oh, they mandated. Guess what? You know what? As technology goes, it's going to change up from electrical to who knows. It's going to be water. All right? It's going to be water. It's going to be waste. Right now, they're trying to perfect waste so they could use it, so they can use it as fuel. Oh, you're upset about it? Don't be upset and laugh about it. When you know what it is, don't be in denial of what's going to happen. So
wait a minute. How are they going to get the waste? How are they going to get the waste when they won't let us use toilets that effectively flush it away?
Yeah. Jay, the reason why...
How are they going to get the waste?
Wait, Sarge, hold on, Sarge. You're saying that I said that they invented it. I said they're working on it, Sarge.
I see. They don't have it ready yet.
Sarge, you heard you just mad what Joe just said. Wow. Joe said. Good.
Yeah, the
reason they don't have it ready yet. It ain't ready yet.
So that China doesn't corner the market in EV vehicles and EV technology.
No, it's for our own good. It's for our own good. It's for our own good.
Absolutely.
Ah, I see. Well, that's clear as a bell now. It's for our own good.
Yeah.
Hold on, Sarge. I mean, America is right like the biggest, baddest corporation in the world. I mean, a corporation doesn't do what's best for it. Doesn't transition to technology or a market that's best for them.
No, the consumer market determines what's best for consumers. Decide what it is they want to buy. That's the way it used to work.
It still works that way. It still
No, it's
works
not
that
working
way.
that way now. It's being done
It
by
still works that way.
it's capitalistic cronies with the government deciding what largesse they're going to distribute to their cronies. That's not the same thing.
Hey, they not running in your driveway taking your
that is what is
gasoline
called
vehicle away
a
from you.
directed economy. That is the word for
They
that.
are
A
not running
directed
into your
economy.
driveway. They not running into your garage
Yeah.
taking your Humvee away from you. Your gasoline
So let me get this
vehicle.
straight now. You're saying that EVs are better for the environment? Is that it?
Yeah, it's cleaner. It's cleaner. They say
It's cleaner, is it? Really?
It is.
What you gotta
Really?
use to make it? You use
Really?
more to make it.
Now, why don't you tell me, okay, Big OC's on to something. Big OC, you want to describe to me that process? You know, since I'm so technology ignorant, I need you to explain it to me. So why don't you explain to me the process of, you mean strip mining? Strip mining.
Sarge.
Oh, I just want to know. Now, remember, I'm technologically illiterate. You guys are savvy. So I want you to explain to me this process.
You know what, Sarge? I asked this guy that's a technology guy. He was on C-SPAN live, and I asked him that because specifically because you.
Yeah, so why don't you fill us in?
Oh, damn, hold on. Let him talk.
The man that was, he's a technology, he's into the environmental stuff, and he said it's way cleaner. I asked him, I said, listen, look, I didn't project it. What I asked was a question. I said, listen, there's a lot of question. I know that they're talking about the EVs. People are worried about the carbon footprint is leaving because people are saying that it's dirtier. What's going on with how they dig up the batteries and how they reuse them and things of that nature. And he said no. He says the amount of gas and all that, the dirties and the pollutants from the gasoline and the processes and all that is way more than the EV batteries and all that.
Oh, is that what he said? Huh?
And he said, and they said that they're going to be having a clean way or the cleanest way to extract a lot of that stuff. And they're extracting that in places where there's not people living there. So they're doing
like
it
the Congo? In the Congo?
In America, and in the U.S. There's a place.
Oh, they don't get anything from the Congo or Angola?
I'm not talking. No. I'm not saying that they're not. I'm talking specifically.
Oh, they are.
Hold on. That's a different conversation. I'm specifically here in the United States. They have a place on the West Coast where it's like there's nobody living there, and there's nothing but mountain, and they're digging in there. All right, and they said they're gonna find the most cleanest way that they can extract all that shit. They're extracting gas. So which one do you want? They said they're gonna be cleaner. It's not 100%, but it's gonna be cleaner. So what do you want? You want the dirty gasoline or the easy cleaner shit?
I believe that petroleum extraction is cleaner than electric vehicle production with lithium and all the associated materials and acidic compounds that are necessary to create an electrical vehicle battery. Yeah. You got to dig up 500,000 pounds. You got to dig up 500,000 pounds of the Earth's crust for one EV battery. That is a fact. Yes, it will. Now, he just told me what he's going to say, and I'm going to tell you what goes in the process to make one lithium battery that weighs 800 pounds for a typical EV vehicle. Now, see, this is what I mean about you. This is what you do, Joe. This is what you do. Joe is trying to prevent me from speaking.
Hold on, shut up. Listen,
I'm just doing what you do.
This is what I mean about Joe. You see what he's doing?
Hold on for 1 second. I want to get into this argument and concede. Let's say the extraction process for oil and the extraction process is just as bad for the environment. They equally as bad, right? I'm conceding for Sarge's argument, right? Sarge saying they worse, but I'm saying they equally as bad. So once it get to the consumer, and we use the combustion engine, and we use the electronic engine, now which one is worse, Sarge?
Well, let me ask you a question.
I'm not fucking finished. So we done took the extraction process off the table. So now we're looking at the life of a battery, and you're looking at the life of a fucking combustion engine. And which one is going to damage the environment the most? That is going to be the combustion engine because it leaves residue. It pollutes the environment. It put fucking shit in the goddamn air. You can run an electronic engine 24 hours, 365, and you're not going to leave pollution in the goddamn air. So that argument right there alone discounts whatever the fuck you trying to say about EV vehicles, Sarge. Now I'm done.
Tyrone, what powers an electrical vehicle car? What powers an electrical vehicle car?
Electrons.
No, fossil fuel.
No,
in most cases.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it
yes, they are powered by diesel-powered generators that generate the electricity to charge them.
I'm talking about. Listen, you didn't hear my
question. Wait a minute.
No, you're talking about how do they power the vehicle? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about diesel fuel. I'm talking about keep it here. The consumer, you and I, we're not going to use diesel to charge a goddamn electronic car. We're not going to use any of that. I'm talking about sitting in your goddamn car, sitting in your house. You get up, you want to go to the store. You go push your goddamn keys in the car. How are you damaging the environment with a gas engine compared to getting an electronic car and driving to the store by pushing a button in an electronic engine? How at that level, all that dumb shit you get ready to say, that's not what I'm arguing, Sarge. At that level. Do you understand now?
So then what you're saying is you want to eliminate those aspects of your argument that are not convenient to your argument. Well, that doesn't make sense either. Other than say, I just want to win at any cost.
At that level, you can tell which one is good for the guy.
No, that's what you're doing. You're acting like the diesel jet powered generators that power the electricity that enable the car to be charged don't exist.
Okay, because your argument is stupid. Wait a minute, hold on. Your argument is stupid because you can use solar to charge your goddamn electronic cars. That's why I'm taking it off the goddamn table so we won't go through this dumb shit that you talking about diesel. I'm just talking about at the consumer fucking level. Whenever you get in your goddamn electronic car versus your combustion engine car, which one is worse for the goddamn environment, Sarge? You can't use solar to put in a goddamn diesel motherfucking car or a gas engine. Jesus Christ.
I just cannot wait until we get the saturation that you guys want electrical vehicles to achieve, the saturation in the market of say 75 to 80%, that you are hoping the electrical vehicles achieve, and I want you dumb motherfuckers to try to charge them with solar power. And I can't wait to see how many years you wait while you run away to a skeleton waiting for a fucking car to recharge.
Just ignore my
You guys are fucking nuts.
Sounding like an idiot.
Tyrone. Yeah, look. We had this argument with Mr. Solutions a little while back, and I broke it down something like this. In a typical city, most people
solar power. Jesus.
Do you mind, sir? Can you discipline your fucking self for a minute? Now
when you say that stupid ass shit, I can't.
Oh my goodness.
What the fuck is wrong with you, man? You got Tourette's or something?
Sorry,
Shut the fuck up. Yeah, so anyway.
You just make up any fucking thing to try to convince the zombies out there.
I want to hear what Joe has to say.
You mute this son of a bitch, Tyrone, please, if you don't
mind.
mind.
Never Sarge, though. Always Joe. He's so wise and knowing.
Let Joe
fuck this.
So anyway.
Yeah, he's such an oracle. Joe's an oracle. He knows it all.
Go suck a dick.
Right.
Goodbye.
Yeah, piss up a rope, you cocksucker, you bull-back cocksucking bastard. Fuck you. Yeah, and your daddy, and your fucking grandma too.
Yeah, your mama. Yeah, how about that? Your mama.
Man, come on, man.
Yeah. So anyway, Tyrone. Yeah. So most people in a typical city drive less than 30 miles a day. All right. In fact, it's a lot less than that in most cities. 10 to 15 miles. In New York, at most, on a daily basis, you're driving 20 miles. In fact, most people in New York don't drive at all. They drive on the weekends. So they park their car during the week, and then they move it from one side of the street to the other, but generally they drive on the weekends. So let's say you have a charge on your car, one charge, right? You get 300 miles to that charge. A typical New Yorker, let's say you commute a little bit to work. That'll last you about 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So you're charging your car maybe once every 2 weeks or so, right? Now, for folks living in the suburbs, if you're living more than 20 miles away from the city, you're going to need those fossil fuel cars because you're driving longer distances. But for most people in the city, like I took a Tesla. I asked the guy, on an Uber, the guy came with a Tesla. I asked him, how much mileage you get? And he says, I only have to charge it once a day. And this is a guy driving an Uber, right? So he only has to charge it once a day. And he says, I'll go eat and charge it. So it's a reworking of how Americans live their life and use their cars. Most people go to work for 8 hours a day. You're going to start seeing charging stations at work. Why? Because when you go there, you park your car, right? So you might as well charge it at work. There's no reason to charge it at home if you have a charger at work. By the time you leave, you have a full or nearly full charge. So what these guys can't seem to imagine is a whole reworking of how we live as Americans. Just like the suburbs, produce station wagons that nobody has anymore, because people had families and they were living in the suburbs and driving to the city. So you needed vehicles that supported a family moving from the suburbs to the city. Well, most people live in the cities now. They bike to work. I mean, I can't get these guys. Yeah. Right. Go ahead.
Look at electric bikes.
Go ahead.
Out here where I'm at, electric bikes are everywhere. Now,
everywhere.
People ain't at my job. I see electric bikes parked out in front. Motherfuckers ain't even driving to work no more. They don't have electric bikes. Them electric bikes, some of them got them that go up to 70 miles an hour. Them motherfuckers be zooming down the street.
They won't be going.
Yeah.
But these are younger people, Big OC. Right.
Well, another thing I wanted to bring up in the middle of y'all discourse was the whole purpose of mandating electric vehicles being made by 2030 is to get off the dependence of fossil fuels. So it doesn't mean fossil fuels. Nobody said fossil fuels are going away. I didn't hear that. I just heard lowering the dependence on fossil fuels. And since the easiest way would seem in this civil society to do that would be to lower emissions. Everybody has a car. More than that, there's more cars than guns in this motherfucker.
Yeah, it seems like they was wanting to get off of fossil fuels.
It's just common sense. You would attack.
I mean, what you're doing is you're emboldening the fucking prince of fucking Saudi Arabia. You're emboldening Iran. You're emboldening Russia by depending on fossil fuels because those are big oil producers. And if you just get off of it, you don't have to embolden them goddamn terrorist goddamn countries no goddamn more.
Exactly.
But that's all they produce, Tyrone. That's the thing. That's all they produce is oil. They don't produce nothing else.
So so they got us promoting their fucking product in fossil fuels.
And it's the dirty. Think about the process. Yeah.
But I saw a documentary about Saudi Arabia, and they're working now for the long-term plan because they know that oil is they're dependent upon. Yeah, and they're working now to find other ways because they know eventually it's gonna go away, and so they are working to find other avenues where oil they're not so dependent on their oil. But actually, like in my neighborhood, I live in the suburbs. Some of my neighbors, I see them charging their cars and stuff at night. And I've asked them, because we have the charging stations all over the place. Why don't y'all just go? Because, they just say, well, I just do it at home sometimes because that means I got to get up early or when I get off, I got to go over here. I just do it at home at night. But the electric bikes, I see people charging their cars. We have the charging stations all around where I live at, the charging stations.
This is real time, right? Real time now, 2024 of August.
Yeah, and technology has always evolved. You guys brought up the horse and buggy and the older model cars. The technology has always evolved, but for some reason in this era right here, people want to be stuck in this fucking era on gasoline. I don't get it.
And we should have been off fossil fuel. It's ridiculous that we're still so dependent upon that. And Trump wanted to bring back coal full-fledged. I mean, we should be off this stuff. We should have been, but they suppressed the technology because of the different countries in the wars over the oil and the this and that. They suppressed a lot of that technology. Y'all know that.
Yeah, they spending money to dumb down people. They spending money to dumb down people like SARS so he can come out here with these stupid ass arguments and tell us how the fuck free energy is not good for you. What the fuck? What the hell you mean, nigga? Solar will kill you. It's solar. That sun been there for millions of goddamn years. It ain't killed shit. It's free energy. But you know the corporations, the corporations got to find a way to make money off of it. So I get that part. But as a humanity, we need to advance. We need to just go ahead and move past.
We need to advance.
Yeah.
Like, get up
But this is the energy behind Kamala. Yeah, this is the energy behind Kamala. It represents younger people, and this is the thing that Trump they tried to get JD Vance in to see if he would attract a younger crowd. He's not. Yeah, he's not. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, they was hoping, you know, that he would bring in a younger crowd. They need young Republicans. The average age of Republican is old and white. Right? Yeah. So, you know, they appeal to guys like ABC and Sarge because they're old dudes who are scared of the future. The past is comforting because it's already happened. You already know what's going to happen. There ain't no surprises in the past. So it's comforting for folks. What's uncomforting is the future because they don't know their place in it, can't see it, and it's unpredictable. Anything can happen. Corporations are scared of the future because this is how you get an Elon Musk, you know, out of the blue. Whereas, you know, the old line corporations, you know, the old line fossil fuel companies ain't producing the energy and the excitement of their products anymore, you know? So, you know, this is the beauty now, right now, of Biden being able to have the balls to say, you know what, my time is done. I did my thing. I'm going to step down. It's time for new blood in the party. It's time for new energy. So I admire him for that. You know, I don't agree with all the man's policies, but at least he stepped down. He stepped down because he saw what was coming, and he knew that he couldn't fight it. Yeah, he couldn't fight it. So,
I agree with him.
Yeah, this is why, Kamala in 2 to 3 weeks has generated more excitement than Trump has done in 9 months. Think about it now. You know, she's pulling in huge crowds at rallies. She didn't do that before a month ago. You know, she could never done that a month or 6 weeks ago. But people see the future is coming, and they don't know what it holds, but they know that if they don't, you know, buy into the future, then you're going to get the same stuff with Donald Trump. He's just saying the same stuff he already did.
Yeah, that's why he can't find a way. He can't find a way to attack them too, man.
Right.
Like you said, it's the same old shit, the same old name calling, insults.
Yeah.
Kamala, listen, Kamala, this is light work because she's really, if y'all think about it, she's really not putting anything out there except for, you know, Donald Trump's a criminal. He's fucking, you know, and he should be prosecuted. And, you know, repeating the same policies that people promised us for years, but we think it's fucking gold because somebody said it. But nah, but that's all it takes because Donald Trump is a weak fucking candidate. He's flawed. He's got all these goddamn criminal charges, and anybody can beat him. But, you know, I'm not putting Kamala down or nothing like that, but this guy's got so many issues. If you can't fucking beat this guy, something wrong. Something is wrong.
Something's wrong with you. I agree with you, Tyrone.
Hey, when your enemy,
that he gave, just like his press conference that he gave, I think it was today or whenever that was, he was still talking about, I had the largest crowds that come. I spoke to large crowds.
That's like some child shit, right at a party.
Largest.
Anybody ever. And then he said, they claimed that Dr. Martin Luther King spoke to
I seen that shit.
And he talked about that's what they
He said you're gonna give it to him though because he likes him.
But see, that's that goes back to what I was telling y'all.
I had more. I had large because I had more. They said I only had 12,000, but that's not true. But I'll let it go. But I have had larger crowds than anybody. What are you, 4 years old?
Shut up. Well, he was trying to break the news cycle, saying that Martin Luther King comment. He was trying to break the news cycle.
He was trying to get something headline. He said he had more crowd than Martin Luther King Jr., but he liked him, so he's gonna give him a pass. Like, yeah, you can't lie. That shit was dry. He's trying to maybe if he takes Obama's pictures and take the shit from his inauguration and then says it was his, then it'll look like it was a crowd. I seen it was dry. He ain't packed that shit out the way he says he was. Yeah, he packs his campaigns and his arenas. I mean, he does big, little stadiums or mini stadiums. Yeah, he packs them out. But they're going there for a concert. They're going to see him perform to be an idiot. He's a circus fucking clown. They're going to Ringling Brothers to see him perform. So, yes, he does get crowds in these places, but when it was the inauguration, that shit was dry. You see, it was a lot of brown dirt, which means that it wasn't filled. It wasn't that area that they said that long wasn't filled completely. He had people there. Let's not lie. Let's not deny he had people there. It was nowhere near Obama's, and it was nowhere near when Martin Luther King made that damn "I Have a Dream" speech. That shit was jam packed. Are you kidding me?
But Jay, you messed up on something there. Donald Trump's inauguration, they were posting pictures of Barack Obama's first inauguration. They got caught. Y'all don't remember that? They got caught. And they
dirty dog.
And they went ahead and narrowed in the cameras. They were doing that. You could Google it. They were posting pictures, his campaign people and stuff, from Barack Obama's inauguration. And they got caught by who? Park and Planning. They got caught, and they didn't do it anymore. So they did that.
Damn. I mean, well, look. I mean, they used Michelle Obama's speech and made it sound like it was Michelle. What's her name? Melania. They took Michelle's speech, used Melania, and everybody thought that was Republicans, that she made this beautiful speech that wasn't her. So, I mean,
but somebody set her up. She was set
he's
up.
A con man. Yeah. They said that was a setup. That was a setup. But it goes to show you that they're not doing their homework, because they would have known if they had people around them that were smart. They said, wait, no. That was said by the president's wife. Like, we can't use this shit. They not paying attention. That goes to show you what kind of people they have around them. They dummies. They might be smart in some shit, but they're dumb in a lot of shit. And that's why I said he's going to lose this fucking election. He's going to lose. He's a loser. A loser loses. A loser loses. He's a loser. He's going to lose. And Sarge, you're a loser too.
Move on. It's time to move on. And Sarge, this is your chance to maybe try to regain control of your party. We have so many
do something.
Regain control of your party and get rid of the alt-right, do your best. You all have a chance to regain this party and get rid of that. And Lindsey Graham up on TV the other day trying to say, but he was trying to say that they need to
change up,
He's trying to say it without sounding like a traitor. This is your chance to purge MAGA from your party. And if you
when you got Judge Shapiro on Fox News talking about it's not looking good, and let's see, Sarge, this is your people, Fox News. They're twisting up in a pretzel, and they're by mistake admitting what's happening. And they're nervous, and they're admitting to things that they should not be admitting, according to the Fox News Republican shit. They're slipping, Sarge. You have some people on Fox News slipping, telling the truth. You better get your party in order. Tell them what side are you on? The real side, the fake side, or in the middle side? You better get your party. You got people telling the truth. What are you gonna do when you got Judge Shapiro, the liar, telling the truth now?
Yeah, it's your chance to purge Trump and all of that ilk that he brought in. And everybody he got held hostage, this is your chance to try to regain your party back. This is your chance. Get rid of that fool. He don't win, he's gone. Then y'all have to deal with the MAGA. This is the time to try to purge this stuff out of there. This needs to go. All of this MAGA stuff, it needs to go. QAnon, it needs to go. These neo-Nazis and the worst part under your umbrella, they need to go. It needs to go. This racism, this sexism, well, we're always going to have sexism and misogyny, but it's so heightened right now. We need to let that stuff go. It needs to go. And y'all could still be conservative, but you need to purge that party because the party is toxic as I don't know what. Because you what y'all did, you let the wrong ilk come up front and take over the days of the rhino. You're a rhino. You done purged your party out of all of those people. This is your time. This is your chance now because everybody's gonna move on. And y'all will still be stuck here.
They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it because they're trying to find a way before the election to have an excuse for a bad performance. And it seems like to me they're stuck in this mindset to where the whole system is cheating them and they're going to get mistreated and all this kind of BS. And the sad thing is that people is falling for it. Like Sarge, he just got mad and hung up. You know, he don't want to hear nothing that makes any goddamn sense. He don't want to hear nothing that makes sense. Who's this unknown caller?
This is Miss Lady. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Miss Lady? I'm gonna open up the lines. I appreciate you calling in, Miss Elisa, and everybody on the line, but let me do this right quick.
Q&A session is over. All participants are unmuted.
All right, Miss Lady, what you got?
Oh, I was online today, and there was on YouTube a Republican mayor from Border State explains why he just endorsed Harris. He's a mayor from. So a lot of them, they know what's up, and they've been afraid to speak out. But now that the momentum is going, with Harris and this Wallace, now they're feeling a little bit more comfortable speaking out. Because Trump and his ilk have dossiers on everybody. They know which one, this so-called married men that our family values, they know which one's been sleeping with men and buying male prostitutes and got mistresses and outside children outside of their marriage. They know, so I think a lot of them are afraid to speak out because they don't want a lot of that stuff divulged. Because they're kind of wacko. A lot of those right-wing evangelists, a lot of them are just wacko, and they weirdos for real.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Kyle Rittenhouse defected. If Kyle Rittenhouse defected,
but why did he defect? Why? I don't think he defected.
No, it was over the gun issue. But it still doesn't matter. He defected from Trump. Regardless of what he stand up and saying.
It kind of matters because versus, some issue like, what is it about the gun? What was about the gun specifically he didn't like?
He was saying that he doesn't think Trump is as staunch on gun rights as he should be. Because he's all for gun rights, that's why he said he's writing in somebody else's name. And the thing is, America is always going to be gun first. It is what it is. But the fact that his little old know-nothing murdering behind, the fact that he came out and said that he's not voting for Trump because of that issue. And but the thing is, it does matter that he did that. All the wrong reasons, but he still did it.
Yeah, but he's not endorsing Kamala. That's the thing.
No.
I hear what you're saying, but no. But this is the thing. I just think that, they remind me, those angry MAGA nuts, they remind me of incels or entitled Karens. that want their way.
I agree.
It's the same kind of, it seems like a lot of similar personality traits. You know, and they tend to be just pitiful, really. So someone I work with, and people in her family are on the Trump train, and there's nothing she can say. I just say they're in a cult, and there's nothing you can do. You know, and she doesn't want to like cut off relationships with her close family members, but they are in that Trump thing. I think a lot of them, like, they see the world is changing, and they want it to be like it was back in the 1950s and 60s, before civil rights. And they think Trump cares about them. He cares nothing about them.
That's true.
We're
I guess
not going back.
he'll put the black and brown people in line, take their jobs, and we can get them. But half of them even aren't qualified to have those jobs. You understand? Yes, and they don't want to go and pick fruit and do that heavy construction work. So what are they make no rational sense at all. But all that yelling and screaming and anger and just in delusion, and put facts in front of them and they disregard it. It's just crazy. So what for him to be so close, Cameron's charging for it according to polls, but for the numbers that support Trump to be as high as they are says a lot about this country.
Yeah, it do.
It does. You're right.
People want to think, oh, things changed so much since civil rights and okay.
No, that has to be diligent work in this country to remain that way. If this ain't showed you that you have to get your ass up and do something about it every day, or it's gonna get taken away from you, then you ain't paying attention.
You know, there's a very important position, and this woman, she looks Indian, and she's over the Federal Trade Commission, and that's one thing that Project 2025 wants to get rid of. Oh my God, it is such an important agency. And
Yeah, they hate her.
Oh, they hate her. Because she's going after them for antitrust and trying to monopolize the industries. And they want to get rid of it so they can just have all kind of monopolies. But it was a good YouTube clip I listened to, and she's no nonsense. I hope they keep her in there.
I do too. I do hope they keep her in here. I hope they keep her. I know old girl lost her seat. The APAC paid for. What's her name?
Cori Bush. Cori Bush.
Yeah, that hurt. That hurt me. But Cori Bush was out there for the people.
You know
and
what?
Her district, y'all let that happen.
But people ain't talking about this, right? And I know that we notice it, but Cori Bush, Jamal Baldwin, and anybody that is not bending over, kissing Israel's butts, our politicians are getting fired for not supporting Israel.
Yeah.
That is so dangerous, and why should they have that much power to dictate who the fuck represents us? That is crazy. That Israel is just controlling if you don't like Israel, then that means you can't be in fucking Washington, and that's bullshit, y'all.
That's dangerous stuff right there. That is extremely dangerous, and I hate to see that Cori Bush lost her seat, but AIPAC was pouring in so much money over there. The same thing they did to Baldwin, and those people were actually there
Miss Lady, I believe your headphone making noise, Miss Lady.
I'm not on my phone.
That slept out on the steps of Congress to get some things changing as far as housing and things like that, and you won't let that happen? She was there for the people. AIPAC said she got to go because she's not in step with Israel. That is just a shame. That hurt me. That hurt.
But that clip about the woman over the FTC is we found corporate America's biggest enemy. It's on YouTube. You should play it, Tyrone.
You want me to play it?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to dig it up.
Man, it's like you have to, like, on all fronts and all areas, it's like everything's being attacked. And they wanting to privatize Social Security so they can, fool around with it on the stock market. Our stocks be crashing and stuff.
Are you talking about? Is it by More Perfect Union? Is that the video?
Hold on just a minute. Let me see. Yes, that's it.
All right. Well, I got to download it. But that's a man talking. You said it was a woman.
Yeah, she's gonna come in.
Oh, okay.
He just entered. I mean, there's not one single area of people activity that they have left out under this Project 2025. Not one area.
Well, with the white man was losing control slowly, they won't nobody doing anything about it, and they see their power drifting away. And they're trying to correct course now, so they don't care about the Constitution or any rules.
I don't see their power drifting away at all. They're the ones, the billionaires, trillionaires, and owning everything.
Well, they perceive their power as drifting away, and I'm like you. I don't see their power drifting away. But it's a threat as black people get hired. Barack Obama was the president, and
even Obama had his hands tied. They could still tell him to be quiet and he's a liar and everything else. Their power has not drifted away at all.
Let me well, no, it hasn't, but they don't see it that way. But here's the video, so I'm gonna go ahead and play it.
In the world of big business, there is one woman who inspires great fear and awe.
I wanted to have you on a podcast, and Apple asked us not to do it.
The FTC's back in that role of torturing all the companies that America likes.
The business community feels that the FTC is waging a war against us, and it's time to fight back.
That woman is 34-year-old chair of the Federal Trade Commission, Lina Khan. As FTC chair, Lina Khan has become public enemy #1 for the corporate establishment. But here's an interesting twist. She's also simultaneously managing to bring together an unlikely political alliance from both sides of the aisle.
You are a brilliant woman with a tremendous ability to impact how consumers are going to interface with the digital world.
One of the outstanding members of the Biden administration, and that is Lina Khan.
I look at Lina Khan as one of the few people in the Biden administration that I actually think is doing a pretty good job.
So who is Lina Khan, and what is it about this young FTC chair that makes corporate America shake in their boots, all while uniting politicians like Matt Gaetz and Bernie Sanders? Many political bureaucrats who enter government service do so with the framework of wanting to be seen as fighting on partisan terms for their respective parties. They're often looking ahead to their next cushy job rather than worrying about being strong public advocates in their current roles. Unlike public servants of the past 4 decades, Khan enters with a very different framework. She's more interested in analyzing who has too much power and who doesn't have enough. She's not fighting a partisan game. Instead, she's focused on something that she's had her eyes on since she was a teenager, waging battles against powerful, predatory multinational corporations that are exploiting working people.
I was thinking back to 2004, young Lena Khan writes about Starbucks at the age of 15. When did Lena Khan get so animated around a vision of wanting to address economic justice, particularly corporate power in America?
You know, from an early age, I was interested in being a journalist. And one reason why I wanted to be a journalist was because at their best, they hold power to account. After college, I ended up working for an organization where my job was instead to look at how different markets were structured. One of the first areas I did this work was in poultry farming. You have millions of consumers on one end, thousands of farmers on the other end, but they're connected just by a very small number of companies. And practically, that can mean that for a chicken farmer, their entire livelihood is just dependent on one company. And so that company has huge amounts of power over them. And so it was just a clear picture of how concentrated economic power, concentrated corporate power is ripe for abuse.
In 2012, Khan wrote a poignant article called Obama's Game of Chicken, in which she foretold the kind of public servant she would aspire to be, one who stood in sharp contrast to Obama's then legal enforcers at the Department of Justice. In this article, Khan was critical of Christine Varney, the head of the DOJ's antitrust division, for making compromises with power instead of taking them on in court. Varney's approach was simple, and it mirrored the cautious political approach taken by government regulators for decades. Quote, if you overreach in the courts, you will lose, and the very behaviors you are calling illegal will be validated by the court. According to Varney, the government was unlikely to win against powerful poultry producers in court, and therefore she was unwilling to wage an uphill legal battle. And she had this to say about the apparently too big to touch corporations gaining a stranglehold over our economy.
You know, in America, we reward success. And I applaud the companies that have been very successful in the last decade, particularly the technology companies.
Like clockwork, Varney left Washington to join Cravath, a fancy corporate law firm in Manhattan. She now represents wealthy clients who are facing scrutiny from Biden's antitrust enforcers. Corporations such as Paramount, Epic Games, Imperial Sugar Company, and Illumina, to name just a few. 10 years after writing her article, Lena Khan was chosen by Joe Biden to head up the FTC and has since been making very different judgments on behalf of the public interest.
When we spot an illegal merger, we won't hesitate to act, because if we don't do our job, the American people will lose out.
By going to bat for people against predatory corporations that are extorting America, Lena Khan is animating a form of populism that transcends party lines, one that is not Democrat versus Republican, but corporate monopolists versus the people.
For most people, their day-to-day interaction with power is not necessarily with their government, but it's in our economy. And at a fundamental level, if we care about having real liberty for people, real democracy for people, we need to make sure that they're able to feel free, not just in our politics when they go to cast a vote, but also in our commercial sphere.
Khan is putting economic justice at the center of the FTC's policymaking, returning the agency to its roots of fighting monopolies and standing up against big business interests.
I mean, all the way back in 1890, you had lawmakers talking about how the railroad monopolies and the great trusts in the sugar industry and the steel industry were abusing their power in ways that was bad for workers, that was bad for farmers. And they said we need these antitrust laws to protect Americans from concentrated economic power. There have been tools on the books for a long time that our government has not used aggressively and used assertively. This administration has made clear that we are breaking from that past and from that history. And we're going to use all of the tools and authorities that we have to do our job.
And use all the tools they have in industry after industry. Instead of focusing on just one area of the economy to unrig, Khan has chosen to go to battle with big pharma, big oil, big ag, the military-industrial complex, giant semiconductor chip companies, housing giants, big tech, credit card companies, mega grocery chains, auto dealers, private equity firms, and on and on and on. To understand the power of these enforcement actions, let's dig a little bit deeper. Take big pharma.
The modern inhaler was invented in the 1950s, but in America today, millions of Americans still pay hundreds of dollars just to get an inhaler that they rely on to be able to breathe. Our team took a closer look and we realized that these inhaler companies, in some cases, had been claiming bogus patents for parts of the inhaler that really shouldn't have been patented. So we sent them letters challenging those patents, saying that those patents were unfairly blocking out competition, blocking out generic, cheaper options. And in response, a whole set of companies ended up delisting their patents and announcing that starting in June, they're going to cap how much any American pays for an inhaler to $35.
Pharma is hardly alone. From drug prices to junk fees, those unnecessary charges on ticket prices and airfares that seemingly come out of nowhere, Lina Khan has used her rulemaking authorities to save Americans money whenever and wherever she has the authority to do so.
Junk fees cost Americans over $90 billion a year. Money that corporations are extracting from Americans just because they can.
She's even gone after those pesky subscriptions that often keep you paying long after you stop using a service.
We've seen too many times companies make it so easy to sign up, but then when you try to cancel, you have to go in person, you have to make a phone call, but there's nobody there to pick up. And as a result, Americans end up paying tens of dollars, hundreds of dollars a month, stuck in subscriptions that they no longer want.
Another way Lina Khan is making her mark? She's using antitrust to protect workers. Earlier this year, Khan instituted a rule banning non-compete agreements in employee contracts, which could raise workers' wages by nearly $300 billion per year.
Right now, workers are stuck in place because of these non-competes. And so even if they get a better job opportunity with higher wages, with better benefits, they can't actually switch jobs.
In using her litigation power, she has sued to block what could be the largest supermarket merger in U.S. history, Kroger's $24.6 billion acquisition of Albertsons.
The commission alleged that the deal would be bad for shoppers, but also would be bad for unionized workers who in the past had used the competition between Kroger and Albertsons to actually get more bargaining leverage when they were negotiating a contract.
But perhaps her biggest claim to fame is her battle with big tech, a battle she's waged since law school when she wrote a widely cited paper called Amazon's Antitrust Paradox. As the country's top antitrust enforcer, Khan has gone after Silicon Valley's biggest tech giants.
The Federal Trade Commission and 17 states are suing Amazon, claiming it operates an illegal monopoly.
Zuckerberg in court today for a hearing surrounding the FTC's antitrust suit against the company.
OpenAI is facing a new complaint filed with the FTC today over the company's popular ChatGPT product.
There is enormous opportunity here for a vibrant market, but we also see risk. We see risk of consolidation, we see risk of monopolization.
As her critics love to point out, not all of the legal battles Khan has waged have been successful, but unlike her predecessors, Khan hasn't taken a play-it-safe approach that worries simply about her record in court. It's about proving that there are people in government who have the courage to wage tough battles in ways that have not been seen in recent history.
People all too often are being pitted against massive corporations that have a lot of power and that feel they can use that power to bully people, to coerce people, to steal from them. And the government's supposed to be on the side of the people and enforce the laws to protect them.
Khan has been so steadfast in her approach to litigation that the FTC is now having a deterrent effect, which means that countless corporations are not even attempting to engage in mergers and acquisitions out of fear that their proposed combinations will be deemed illegal.
What we hear from senior lawyers and corporate executives is that back in the day, if they were proposing a merger, they wouldn't really think about antitrust risk until the very end, if at all. But now, antitrust is being discussed right at the beginning of when a deal is even being considered. And as a law enforcer, our goal has to be to deter illegal behavior to begin with.
All of these actions have made Lina Khan a frequent target of the CEO class in America. Just take a look at the pages of the Wall Street Journal. In those op-ed pages, you'll find more than 100 articles attacking her in just the past few years. As of January, the Journal had run an average of one piece every 10 days attacking her. Big business has been gunning for Lina to be fired, and they pounced quickly once Kamala Harris became the Democratic Party's presumptive nominee for president.
I do think that Lena Khan is a person who is not helping America in her job and what she's doing. And so I would hope that Vice President Harris would replace her.
But I will say Jonathan Cantor, in the end, Attorney General, he goes, Khan goes, these people go.
A number of prominent Democrats have been lobbying Harris to drop people like Lena Khan. Do you think that that's going to happen? And would you lobby for that?
Yeah, I would.
You would?
Yeah, I think she's a dope.
Still, Khan remains undeterred. You've got a whole bunch of conservative actors who want to raise a fuss because, quite frankly, they seem to know that the things that you're doing impact bottom lines and affect their power. Can you be bullied?
Absolutely not. This is a job that Congress has given us, and it's no surprise that when you try to enforce the anti-monopoly laws assertively and in a way that's faithful to what Congress told us to do, monopolies are going to fight back.
Lena Khan is revamping antitrust and reminding the people who the FTC was created to fight for and against. She speaks softly while carrying a big stick. With her courage and dedication, Khan has put forth a model for how government officials should use their time and authority while they're serving in public office.
I mean, the problems that Americans are facing in their day-to-day lives are so urgent, are so painful, and we really owe it to them to use everything we have to try to fight for them and protect them when the law is on their side.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more videos like this one. And if you ever have any ideas for what More Perfect Union should cover next, please drop them in the comments. Thanks.
Okay, then.
Yeah, it's a shame that she seems to be the only one doing the right thing, and they want her out of there. That tells you how corrupt this system is.
Yeah, she's not going to get rid of her. When Kamala was Attorney General of California, she went after Wells Fargo for putting all those black folks and others in those horrible subprime loans. Okay. She's not going to, I don't think she's going to get, I think she's going to keep her right there.
I don't think they're hoping, and if she was her, let them hope. Let them get her in the office and keep that woman right there. I don't think she's going to get rid of her either. And see, it's that type of stuff that you got the idiots bogged down in racial stuff. Them talking about trans issues and stuff. And what these people, like this woman, this Khan, they're actually doing stuff trying to do stuff to help the people, but the people are bogged down in nonsense, and they're not paying it any attention.
Exactly. She's helping not just Democrats, but everybody, even those MAGA. Hey, but they're so focused on their foolishness that they can't see beyond it. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
That's what it is. They keep the people bogged down in foolishness. I saw it was a little short documentary about Appalachia and the coal mines and the coal towns. And we all know how all the robber barons that owned all of that didn't live there. And the people lived in houses built by the owners of the mines. They had, I forget what you call it, they had the company store, where they didn't really pay these people because they took their rent out of their pay, and they gave them these like coupon things, and they could buy their food, clothing, whatever they needed from the company store. You can spend it in a regular store at the company store. So they were taking advantage of them, overcharging them. And they knew that the people were becoming restless because, well, y'all can't pay us a little more, you're taking advantage of us. So what they did, they opened up the little townships that they had, the company houses, the little company little company two-room homes, and what they did, they had like immigrants, the Chinese, and then they had like black people who were already here, people of color. They allowed them. They built tore up stuff worse than what they were doing with the already white folks, and they built a section just for them. Now check this. They built sections for them, and they made those sections even worse than what the white people who they were already taking, they were barely getting by. but they made the people of color in the immigrant sections worse, so that the white people who were already being taken care of, your life that you're living isn't the greatest because they're taking advantage of you. It made them feel superior to the people of color. Look how they doing them. We's better. We's better. They taking advantage of you. We's better. But then after a while, that wears down a little bit. Well, can't we get a little bit more? And then they turn, this is the trick bag. They turned around and told them, no, we can't because of them. And then you have the people fighting against one another, and the people at the top taking advantage of everybody. That's how they keep you. And when I heard that, I was like, this is the stuff I'm always talking about. They keep the people bogged. That was such a smart plan to say, well, we can't do this because of them. They're the reason why we can't give you 50 cents more. They're the reason why. And then you have them, but that's what everybody have all us doing. Bogged down, racism, sexism, misogyny. Trump and gay to some of the white people that y'all got it right. Y'all can be racist and bigoted. You all have added the trans people. Trump mentioned them 2-3 times in his thing today. Trans stuff. They give the people something to argue and bitch and fuss and fight, get bogged down in while they're taking advantage of everybody. And that's the same thing that's going on with this woman, so you won't pay attention. They tell you, well, she got to go. And all the dummies is like, yeah, she got to go. She got to go. Because she's foreign. What is she, Indian? What is she? That's that trick bag they do all the time. Have the people pitted against one another. They give you somebody to hate. And that's what's been going on for decades. That was an excellent video. And if you could sit some of these people down to listen to stuff like that, get their news from other places. Not all, but some will feel long as they can call you the N-word, just so long as they can fuss about the trans, and so long as they can do all of that, we's better than you. So we's better. They keep you bogged down, and then everybody gets taken advantage of. That's the game. That's the trick bag. It's been that for so long. And why people don't get it and see it, like you have, like our community, you have all of these men, like a lot of black men, they're against feminism. Or you're a feminist, you're a feminist, you're a feminist. Don't you people know that feminism is a threat to white supremacy? They don't see it. That's a big threat to white supremacy. It's white women. But then you rail against it because they got you bogged down. And I thought y'all wanted white supremacy to take a back step. Everybody, but they get you railing at these feminists. In words, they are a threat to what you said that you want done. And it's crazy. And I used to wonder why, like back in the day, when the feminists would have their marches and stuff, I can think of the Princeton professor and different other black people who was in the Fight the Power movement, different things. They would join with them, and you would see some of them in the marches because they got it back then. That's a threat to what you all say y'all want gone. So that's where we are. Or Tyrone.
Yeah.
Or whoever it is. Yeah, I'm getting ready to go. Now, when we come back next week, when is the Democratic convention? I don't know. I probably won't watch all of it.
I don't know when it is.
But I'm not sure. I'd have to look to see if it's underway and what they're going to do. A lot of things is over in the grapevine. They're saying, I'm not sure, that maybe that Beyonce is going to perform or do a fundraiser or something with her 300 million followers. Not all of them are American, but at least
a nice couple of
million
mil.
of them. Well, 100 mil is at least she got 300
And you could
something
get a
million.
voting age, if you could get a nice portion of voting age, just like Megan Stallion.
Yep.
That's why Sarge was upset. He's getting mad
That's
because
why
they
they're
know that new generation is bringing the whatever booty shaking.
They're
They're gonna
bringing
bring they're gonna shake their ass to the voting booth and vote. That's what he's scared about.
And Beyonce, and I'm pretty sure she's already let the woman use her song. They're gonna bring their
Taylor
beehive
Swift,
over
the
there.
Swifties.
They so scared of her and her 270 million. Not all of them are American, but at least 100 of them are 100 million are. And they scared of them Swifties. And Taylor been playing them like a fool. Fox News is losing it. Because she put up a picture at some show she was at. In the background, it was her. She had on a red, some type of leotard looking thing. And the background was blue and red and white. Red, white, and blue. And then in the picture, they put up like a shadow of, you could tell it was a woman. But it wasn't nobody but Kamala because it was a shadow, a dark shadow. It was Kamala hair and her pantsuit. And Taylor had her hand up, like up in the air, like with the fist. And she teasing the people. And they're like, well, maybe that wasn't Kamala. It could have been a back. No, if y'all go online, you look it up. Taylor Swift Kamala photo. That ain't nobody, but she's just teasing and playing with them. But they don't want her to she's going to bring all them, hopefully, bring all them Swifties over there. But she's teasing them.
That's right.
You know that's an outline of Kamala Harris.
They're scared of that base that's coming.
They scared of that base, but they got Kid Rock. They got, what's that other racist fool? They got Kid Rock.
Kid Rock is burnt out. I mean, he does got a base too, but I mean, I don't think. I think more of America, even white America, as much as there's racism, there's going to be more white people that's not going to vote for Donald Trump. They're not.
They got Ted Nugent, and the young people going, who? They got Ted Nugent.
Right. Well,
So
I mean, those other that portion, yeah, they got some people there, you know. But I think you have more. I think you have more progressive. Those guys, Ted Nugent is like old news. He's burnt out. You know, you got a lot of new generation that got a new following. There's millions of people, and when they tell people, "Hey, listen, we're gonna support," they putting out the message, letting people know they taking away our rights. You know, you want to see concerts, you want to have fun and have freedom. They trying to, you know, not give equality, and they trying to discriminate. People listen. And so, you know, just like they have people that follow Donald Trump because his popular, you know, his you know, celebrity. So, I mean, and there's no denial there. It says, look, a lot of people are fanned out on Donald Trump. They're like, they're not only fans, they're groupies. Like, you got all these people that are voted for him. There's a lot of people in that crowd, not all, but most of them, they're obsessed with his celebrity. You know, so just like you do have that, you have Taylor Swifties, you have Beyonce fans, the beehives and all that. There's loyal followers, and when they say, "Listen, we're gonna gather up for this, and we need your support for this," I mean, they're gonna come. There's gonna be a large portion that will support it, and so I think because they're a new generation, a lot of them is here. People of all, because they don't just have young people; they have people from different, you know, maybe I would say three different generations.
3 generations, yeah.
Right, because there's older people that listen to Beyonce and all that. So I'm saying this: all those people gathered up versus what this guy's bringing to the table, that old funk, that stinky, not funk music, but the funk of stink and old, tired. And these kids is not trying to have it for the future, and adults want to be, you know, they don't want more drama than what we already have. We know that things ain't perfect, but we don't need extra BS. That's all I'm saying. And I think most of America feels that way.
But they had to admit it. It was some show with these conservatives. They was talking, and they were saying that the Republican Party, like, well, not the Republican Party, MAGA, when it comes to the celebrity, they're in the bottom of the barrel. Celebrities, very bottom of the barrel. Celebrity. It's like who? James Woods. Who's that? Who's this? They're very bottom of the barrel. The Democrats have your top tier people, top tier with huge millions of followers. If they are scared of that, but they got Amber Rose. The MAGA got Amber Rose. Nobody follows Amber Rose except for a slut walk. So that they know, and they scared of these people. George Clooney and these type of people, they scared of these people. But they got Amber Rose, Ted Nugent, Kid Rock, and
I mean, that was the best that they could do. I mean, I know these. You know, she does have a following, but you know, I mean, how serious is that? And yeah, there will be people that vote, but I don't think it's gonna do. You know, I'm gonna be realistic and say, okay, yeah, you know what, Amber Rose does have a fan base. She got a couple of maybe mil or maybe a million or two. I don't know, but she has people that do follow her.
No,
she has some people that follow her. Okay, and there's people that will vote.
But she had a large LGBTQ community that followed her. They were some of her largest backers.
And now they're not backing her, huh?
And now they upset. They used to call her
you see what I'm saying?
MOBA. And them people are pissed off at her. How could you turn your back on us like that? These people are trying to destroy us. So, no, Amber Rose, that's what's going to be sweet to see her payback when all of this is over.
Well, it was said that she's endorsing Trump because she might be in trouble with Bitcoin and crypto scams.
She needed that damn money.
So,
she needs some damn money too. No, that helped her too. That was
so in order to stay out of legal trouble, she's thinking that she may need a pardon or something like that.
Listen, with her coming out the way she did, right? You know, well, whatever she said, well, it could have been just her gibberish, right? But you know, her being again celebrity, a lot of people are you know, not only in the Republican but in general are fanatics. They're groupies. They're fascinated by people that are famous, and so they'll go and follow. But my question to you is that after all those people, that whatever amount of people that's going to vote and follow her, say, okay, yeah, we're going to vote for Donald Trump. Is it going to amount to the numbers that he needs? And I'm going to tell you something. Today he said one thing that was true. He said he knows he's not going to do well with the black woman vote.
Women.
He had that shit right. He told the truth for that one thing. You know why? Because he knew he blew it. He blew it.
No, he blew it. But no, Amber Rose wrecked herself because her fan base really was LGBTQ. And a lot of trans people, they was wearing her T-shirts. And a lot of them, because I was following it, a lot of them are very hurt. She completely ditched them and did that. And they were like women who want autonomy over their bodies, regular women who follow her. They're like, how could you turn your backs on us? Amber ain't taking nobody over there with her. Because her fan base is disappointed in her. And I would go over there and read the stuff because I wanted, like, her IG and stuff. Unsubscribe. How could you turn your back on us? These people are trying to take away our rights. She alienated her fan base. Black women and stuff ain't really into Amber Rose. Maybe some white people. She had a huge LGBT plus community, the trans community. And women who work in the sex industry, they talk about getting rid of porn and all that. She completely turned her back on her fan base because she's in trouble. And it's going to be sweet to see what happened to her. It's going to be sweet. She should have did a fundraiser or GoFund and try to get some money or something for that mess she got going on. But this is totally a grift. And you talking about the CEO of the Slut Walk, talking about Megan Thee Stallion when she gave that interview. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You are the CEO of the Slut. And it's just crazy, these people, the stuff that they do in the grift. That's all a grift Amber got going on. The grift, how far they will take a grift that you gonna part your slut mouth to say anything about Megan Thee Stallion. Yeah, Megan Thee Stallion got her hotties. Some of her stuff is not my cup of tea, but Megan is a college graduate. Megan has a successful career. What do you have? Slut walk and reality TV. And you got the nerve to crack your lips on that. But when the grift is going, you got to play that grift. You got to play that grift. And that's what she's doing. Well, Tyrone, I'm going to go. We'll see where we at next Thursday. And this was good conversation. It's good to hear everybody's spirits is back up. It really is, because our spirits was down on debate night. Y'all got that? Because I got off the phone, I was like, I don't even want to talk, because we in trouble. We are screwed after the debate night if I don't get out this thing. So our spirits is back up, and we have to continue keeping the spirits back up so this is over.
All right, well, yeah, I'm getting ready to get off here too. And YouTube, if y'all want to call in, I'm getting ready to shut YouTube down, and then I'll holler at y'all later.
Okay, good night, guys.
All right, have a good night.